Put that coffee down.
Good look at my face. I'm an Oriental.
Good Wednesday to you all. It is Wednesday Night Live here on a handful of channels that I'm simul streaming to on YouTube's. No more Facebook tonight. Sorry, Facebook, but you suck. Bringing people on. We've got Jeff. I hate masonry. Potts. Interesting. Fair enough. Melissa, Honey, and Amy Lester.
Hi, everyone. Sorry about the masonry, Jeff.
I know.
Oh, jeez. Don't even get me started.
Matt, the cause. Causin.
Hey, Mike. How's it going? Hey, Jeff, Melissa, and Amy.
Yo. Elliot.
Hi, Becky.
The jerk.
Oh, Elliot.
Hey.
What's up, baby? Hi.
Hi, everybody. How you doing?
What's up? What's up with all you sexy peoples? I'm feeling much better, actually.
Sweet.
Yes,
yeah,
Elliot was under the Florida weather last week. And was it
like
Concrud?
No, man. It turns out it was a bacterial infection. Not a viral infection, a bacterial. So I didn't catch it. I didn't catch any bugs.
Where was the bacterial infection?
I got a funny feeling it might be bacterial pneumonia. I think.
Dude, my friend had, I mean, not to brighten your day or anything, but my friend had to have like open chest surgery for that. Like,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been feeling kind of funky in my chest. As a matter of fact, like I might. Well, I'm not gonna say nothing, but I might have to. I might be calling my cardiologist shortly.
Do you have a nebulizer?
No.
Are we talking?
You can get a nebulizer pretty cheap. Like, just get one on Amazon or something like that. You can get a little handheld one that runs on batteries. Put colloidal silver in it and inhale that, because silver bacteria, it destroys bacteria. It destroys, like, silver and bacteria cannot coexist. That's why, like, when all those people were taking the same communion cup during COVID, nobody got sick from it, because no bacteria can exist on the silver.
So is this like Rick James level of funk, or are we talking Prince levels of funk?
Well, are you saying like the severity of what I was going through?
Yes.
How funky are you?
I thought I had COVID, and I thought it was going to be a bad one, and then it wasn't quite as bad. Like, I had all those kinds of feelings. Like, I started getting all the chills. I started getting all the aches. I started getting the headaches, and then it wasn't as intense as what I have experienced before, like with the Alpha variant.
Right.
So I was like, all right, well, maybe it's a flu. And my wife and I were trying to figure it out, and I said, I'm not sure. And so it wasn't as, I was disoriented and all that stuff. I was very weak and all that stuff. I have it right up on
COVID.
I'm telling you. And then, but I took two home tests. One on that Sunday, and then it was negative. Then I took another one on Tuesday, also negative.
Yeah, but Elliot, you suck at tests.
I know. I was hoping I'd pass this one. I was trying to score high. So then I went. So when I called the doctor, they wouldn't see me unless I had another test. Test negative. Well, just to make sure it wasn't COVID, that maybe it didn't incubate or something.
Right.
And, but even to like just today, I still get like bouts of weakness. Like and then I started feeling like I had asthma also, and I don't have asthma.
Wow, dude, that totally sounds like the COVID.
Yeah, I'm still coughing. And then we also
rattling when you breathe. You got any rattling?
Not anymore. Not even the whole time. I didn't even have much of any of those other kinds of issues that I was expecting to have that would go with COVID. So they also test me for the flu. So it was like a strange.
Well, the rattling was when it develops into COVID walking pneumonia.
Oh no! I just had I crackled when I would cough.
Yeah.
Right.
And so finally, so the doctor, they did the test, no pneumonia. I'm sorry, no flu, no COVID. And then they did some blood work, and then they decided that it was my white blood cell count is high.
Some kind
So-
of lingering infection. Yeah.
Some sort of bacteria.
Are you bringing up green junk?
No, that's what's weird. Now,
Really?
during the event, I was coughing up some blood though.
Ooh.
Ooh.
It was some crazy stuff. I was like, oh, I said, Lord, is this the time? Okay. I guess I
I'm going lazy.
I love my wife, did the best I could. This is the end. And because I didn't know, like I wasn't sure these days, like if there's anything new coming out, whatever. Then of course, everything's going on. Now everybody's trying to shut everything down again. But I didn't have that. So
No.
Yeah, they
Whatever I
released a
had-
new virus. Maybe the new virus they released doesn't track on the old tests.
maybe. But it only
Well, some-
lasted for a week. No, I mean, just yesterday though, like I was having like chest pains, and I had a little bit of it today. So I'm like, I think I'm gonna call my cardiologist. I mean, they did an EKG and it was normal. So
Well, that's
that's
good.
But it might also be, I might need a sonogram or something soon, and I'm about due for another visit, so I may as well. Yeah,
Get
man.
some soreness from coughing too much.
That's what I'm thinking too. But I wasn't
Yeah.
coughing that way. And then I had this weird like flat cough.
Mhm.
Like I wouldn't get a good hearty cough.
Hmm.
I would
Kind
just
of a
try to
wheeze.
it was like it had like it was almost like when a balloon, when you empty a balloon and it flaps at the end.
Hmm.
It was kind of like that. Like I couldn't get a good strong cough unless I breathed in deep. And once I breathed in deep, then it makes me want to cough. So that was minor. Before I just breathed in, start coughing. Then I was coughing and sneezing all at the same time. That
Oh my
happened a lot.
goodness.
Try
I
not
think
to
you might
cough.
pass out
Try
if
not
you
to
did
cough.
both.
Try not to cough. Try not to cough. Try not to cough.
Were you farting at the same time? Just everything?
No.
Try not to cough and then sneeze and then cough and try not to do both at the same time. Yeah, it just
Yeah, then I started tapping my head and rubbing my belly. I was like, I don't know what to do that.
it was like an old circus thing. Oh, hi Dino. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, Gino, what channel are you watching on? I'm streaming on 3 channels for no good reason.
He's on
Yeah,
YouTube.
just cause.
Just because
That's
I
the best
can.
reason.
Just cause.
Yeah, actually, I'm curious how many people are actually watching on
We have quite a few
the
watching.
old
We're not famous.
Unapologetic American. If you're here for Unapologetic American and you want to watch some political stuff, since we had the Republican also ran debate, and then we had the Tucker Trump interview. I haven't seen either of them because I've been stupid busy all day. You'll notice my internet is up and running.
Oh, good.
So, but here's what happened.
Tell us.
The lady who came over before the tech came over to see if she could basically get me to switch my cell phone service also to AT&T by offering me tremendous discounts and even offering me fat wads of cash if I traded in my phones for new phones. Like, we have 6 phone lines, and she's like, well, you could get these other phones. It would only be like, if you wanted the good ones, they'd be like $5 a month, and we could give you $200 per phone. So it'd be free. I'd get $200 per phone. I'd have to pay the tax on all 6 phones. And I thought about it, and I had her like write it up. She was writing whatever, working it up. Then I went to the bathroom. I came back. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do that. Because I have important stuff on my phone. It's changing phones over is such a pain in the butt. I like the Note 10. I don't.
Yeah.
You know.
If it ain't broke,
Yeah,
and then if
I
it
was
is broke,
looking at.
fix it.
They had the. She brought up the comparisons between the Note 10 and the phone. Honestly, almost identical, but it's a brand new phone, and it's like,
Yeah.
Why? Why would I go through all this hassle?
And then they take out like the SD card slot and like the headphone jack. I'm like, so more for less?
Really weird, right? The new
Mhm.
Galaxies, they have no phone jack. Well, this has no phone jack. That Note 10 has no phone jack either.
Oh,
But yeah, you don't have a expandable memory slot, which I have an expandable card in here.
yeah. It's not like
But
you take pictures.
the cheaper versions, like not the Galaxies,
Mhm.
the other Samsungs, they still have the expandable slot and the Note and the
Seriously.
yeah. So you're like,
So
That's what I
save
have
yourself
on
some
mine.
money. Yeah. Why would
I have
you
a-
pay the
I have
extra?
an 852.
Oh, nice.
yeah, and
It's not
it's
that
like,
great. Sorry.
but you got to the
I missed
jack,
the Note.
the plug. I love the Note.
Do I have
10.
the plug?
Yeah.
Do I have the plug? Let me see.
Hey, Finley.
But so then we had all this problem because she disconnected all of our phones
Do I have the plug?
before, like, you're supposed to unlock your phones before, like, while you're still on the previous service. You're supposed to
What?
unlock it. You have to,
Ugh.
the phone has to be unlocked before the service gets switched over. And then, like, so she'd already unlocked all the phones, and only 2 out of the 5 that we were swapping over worked immediately, which one of them was mine, thankfully.
Yeah.
And so 3 of the phones right now don't have service, and they're like dealing with it. And then
My goodness.
and then the dude finally came over, the guy to change my router, get rid of my old crappy AT&T router from before, and give me a new one. And he was only here for like 20 minutes, and he's like, "Yeah, those old ones sucks." Plugged in a new one. He was out of here. But she and this whole phone debacle thing ended up taking like 3 hours, and I'm like,
Ugh.
I have other things to do. And as soon as that was done, I had to go take a meeting with the Squid Grow team, and then another meeting with, and then this. And so in between, I had to squeeze in cooking up some sausages and eating them on stream at the beginning.
Nom, nom, nom,
Anyways.
nom, nom, nom. Gotta get dinner in at
What?
some point.
What an exciting story to start the night!
Phone repair. Yeah, no, we all get it. It's relatable. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Poor little phone.
Oh, that Note 9.
Yeah, it's hanging in there. Kinda, sorta, barely technically.
So Matt,
Matt's taking a nap.
Yeah.
did I put you to sleep with that story or what?
No, I was gonna say that sounds like. Are those all the new phones gonna have no jack for headphones?
Yeah.
Well, I'll stop getting the phones. That'll be the end of it for me, which is good though. Save me time, money.
There you go.
I'll just get my flip phone.
Yeah, you know, I had the Note 4 here.
Hi,
I still have it, right? And I had this thing. I bought it new, and I had it for I think 7 years. And then like the Note 10 came out, and it was just like, because I don't know, this one just
Did it keep working or did it stop?
it still works, but it's like I'd have to swap the battery out, and like the batteries don't
Oh.
last that long anymore. And I don't know, it was just kind of beat up, so cracks and stuff. But then the Note 10 came out, and I'm like, all right, I'll get the Note. I really didn't want it because the Note 4 is the last Note where you can change the battery, and I didn't want to
Really?
buy a phone with
Oh, yeah.
you know, at some point the battery's just gonna crap out, and then I have to go pay somebody else to install a new battery in my phone.
I mean, you
What payment?
can, but it's a game, that's for sure. And you're pretty much going to destroy the back plate when you do. So
Yes, Gino, you can join the chat. Feel free. Hello, Mr.
Hey, Gino.
Brunel. Brunel.
Finish.
And Jeff Potts. Okay, Jeff, you can talk now.
Well,
Why,
whatever.
Why do you hate masonry? You
I'm
don't like
oh, God.
well-built structures?
So, my siding is actually brick veneer on my house,
okay.
and it's like you can't find
Oh, I
anybody.
thought
who,
you were going to go into like how you hate the Masons.
No,
Oh. Well, this isn't going to be interesting at all.
That would be pretty
That's a
interesting.
given, right?
it's so I it's like impossible to find people to work on it. So I've gotten quotes for people to work on it, and one came in with the lowest quote. My wife really liked them, and it's there's been like one thing after another. They took off the veneer off the porch, and they discovered there was so much water intrusion that they had to like redo all the
Gabagoo.
God, what is it? Cement. It's cement block, cinder block.
Oh yeah.
Because my whole house is made out of cinder block. It was made in the 50s.
Sure.
The guy actually, apparently the first owner actually made it himself.
The first stoner?
First owner.
Oh.
First
Oh,
owner.
people
You
used to-
enunciate.
I thought
better,
you said the same thing. I thought the same
Oh.
thing. I heard that. I was like, stoner.
So
Like the first stoner.
How does he know he was the first one?
we had I was like, okay, we took on the additional expense of having it demoed and the brick redone as well as a new cinder block, but it's like now I'm running into all sorts of problems, and it's like and it's been a week long. It's been almost a week. Oh, it actually hasn't even been a week long ordeal, and I'm like drained, man. I just
sorry. Dude.
I don't want to write. I just want to go hide.
No,
So,
I get
but
you.
I had a talk with the owner today,
Gino.
the contractor, and it was a good talk, and so things are going to get resolved, and hopefully in the next week they'll get all resolved. So, but it's just been one thing after another, and I don't want to go into details,
Yeah.
but it's
The
just
title.
I was originally going to have it all torn off,
Mhm.
and
I swear you just said you didn't want to get into details.
well,
This is the details.
no, originally this isn't really detailed. I don't want to get into
I
details
like
of
this
the problems
story,
I'm having.
Jeff.
Yeah, and if Elliot wants to hear it, you're going to
Yes, I
listen.
If
young
it'll make
man.
Elliot feel better, then
Yeah.
this is the story.
Yeah,
Oh,
this makes me
fine
feel
then.
I feel much better already.
Somebody else's misery makes him feel better. Anyways, so I was originally going to go get like just regular siding and have it all torn off and just put up. And we took out a loan, we had the agreement, and then they came back and said, "We're sorry, we can't do this. There's a whole bunch of complications. We won't be able to do the chimney, and it's going to cost $4,000 more." And I'm like, no. And well, you won't get any cheaper. And it's like,
Unless
No.
you're lying.
so that's how we got down this road, and probably just as well because the minute they would have torn that veneer off of the porch and saw that rotted cinder block, it would have cost even more. So it was like it was.
You mean because they were going to dispose of it the correct way and you're going to cut corners?
No, they would cost. It would cost more because they would have to restore the cinder block underneath there, which is what I'm doing. So it's probably just as well that I just had it done. But it's like I can't get into details, but it's just been one thing after another.
Yeah. Oh my
So-
gosh. So you're actually replacing part of the wall yourself, or
No, I'm not doing it. I hired
Oh,
somebody.
okay.
I'm too freaking old,
Okay.
too freaking crippled. So
No, I'm glad to hear that you brought that.
yeah, no, I'm
someone
not
film
doing
for
that.
Okay, good.
So, but like I said, it's been one thing after another, and I just want it done, and I just want it done right. And
I can see that.
Well, that's why
Yeah.
you do it yourself.
well, I don't know how to do
Yeah.
any of this stuff myself. I've done masonry. It is not pretty. I mean,
You hear that? guy?
Friday the 13th
Jeff's
was
a
more
mason.
elegant than my, the movie Friday the 13th was cleaner and more elegant than my masonry work. So
Oh, wow, that's delightful.
Mm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's good to get professionals for some things. Like, oh yeah,
Yes.
I think we had an issue with like plumbing once. Like, this is probably fine, and then sometime later, that thing that was probably fine ends up piece of the pipe ends up blowing, and then your downstairs gets flooded, and it's like, well,
Exactly.
fantastic. Yeah, nope.
So, but we had a bunch of other stuff done since then. We upgraded our alarm system. Now that I'm a big famous author,
There you go. You need to make sure
I s-
people can't.
I was
check
waiting
it
for
out.
somebody to laugh at that one.
I was gonna say, huh?
What? Who? You?
Huh?
So
What's your name?
AS says,
I'm Slim
Mike, I
Shady.
heard Daniel P. Riley was something they're working on.
Was that?
Was it?
I have no idea. Is he? What's that?
just say yes.
I don't know.
Sure.
You think so much, Jeff
It's
Potts?
a first for me.
Do you feel better, Elliot?
I'm so, dude. I'm so much better. Tell me more. I want to feel even better than that.
I feel
Yay.
miserable.
Oh.
Aw,
I'm trying to think if I have any
that
stories
does
I can
brighten
tell
my
to
day.
No,
perk
well, we
Jeff
did
up.
we did a whole bunch of other stuff too. Like we got the air ducts cleaned out, and I was actually on a business trip all last week. So while I was out, my wife did all these things. We had
Oh,
the air ducts
cool.
cleaned out. We had, I said, the new alarm system put in. She had like 3 other things, and we just had a plumber come over and drain the hot water tank.
Let me ask you though. Did she do all the things while you're gone because you said you'd get to them and you never did? And
No.
No.
No, I'm not going to clean out my freaking air ducts. I don't have the equipment for that.
And
And
it would
when-
be hard to fit.
And she was texting me because I was in a
Just
meeting.
get a broom and a vacuum.
Yeah, no. And I was texting me, and she was texting me. I was in a meeting, and she goes, "You can actually hear the stuff rumbling through the vacuum. There was just gobs and gobs of crap down there." And
Oh
she
my
showed me a
gosh.
before and after, and there was like piles of stuff at intersections and I'm like, and this must be the reason why I've been having so many problems with allergies and stuff, because I mean
Guess so.
my eyes have been really bad. They've been itching, and I've been trying to keep them moisturized.
Aw.
And I've been having a lot of stuffy noses and all the other stuff that goes along with it. And I went to Greenville, and that all went away because that's where I had to go on my business trip. And when I came back, it didn't come back. So I have a feeling it had something to
Really?
do with being away from there.
Oh.
So
Wow.
get
You
your
make
air
me wanna
ducts
clean
clean.
my air ducts.
Yeah, get your air ducts
Your-
clean.
Your wife did good. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if that was really a thing or if it's just kind of a
No,
good
man.
things.
It was, the pictures before and after were startling.
Oh.
So, and she could say, I can hear stuff. I can hear the lumping, as like stuff goes through this big hose that they use. You can hear it go all the way
Oh,
down.
jeez.
It's like, who knows? Maybe we sucked up a dead possum or something in the air ducts.
Nah, you just smelled it if it was a possum.
Squirrels or some
Well,
rats.
it is an old house. May have died down there a long time ago. So,
AS says he heard it on A Drink with Crazy, so take it with a grain of salt. Jeff, do you know what he's talking about?
no, I said I edited your Lone Star 3.
Oh no. Oh, were you talking about?
I said that, but I don't know.
Yeah,
where
what is
they
it?
said Daniel P. Riley was editing
Are
something.
you confused, Mr. Brunner? Brunner.
And I actually really didn't edit it. I just kind of looked it over and said, hey, this is wrong.
Well, that's copy editing.
It's basically the same.
You were a copy editor. We'll call
Yeah.
you that.
I wouldn't have done that. You should probably change this here.
This
Yeah.
year.
I
That's called
listened to
editing.
some of it.
Yeah, you listened to someone and discarded most of it.
Right, take the good, leave the bad.
You know. I changed. I added a whole 2 pages because of what Kevin said last week.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you able
What
to
did
get
Kevin
this
say?
colored already? It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, they're done.
Oh my gosh, that's impressive.
They finished. I finished. You want
It's
me to
good.
show 'em?
It's a good story.
Go on.
No, hang on. Alpha Proto says an alarm system. No, the house came with an alarm system, and so we continued to use it. And even if it isn't a dangerous area, I have lots of computer equipment because I work in software. So, but okay, so continue the story.
So
About-
the old
Great- it
alarm
was a great
system
book.
was a moot?
It was a great
Oh.
book. Yeah. Go on.
Tell Mike more about how great he is.
It was a good book. It had a good story.
Mhm.
Graphics were great.
Now,
Or the
Yeah,
art is
How do you-
great.
You
Sorry.
could dance to it.
That's it.
Although there are at least 3 tangents I found.
Oh, tangents, those are fun.
No, you didn't.
not
That's it.
every
That's all you
time
got
I
for me?
intersects.
Well, what do you want me to say?
Ah,
You tell me
Yes.
what you want me to say, and I'll just say it.
no, I don't do that. Tell people to tell me.
All of a sudden, my
just did.
Discord DM lights up. Wow, Lone Star 3 is a real adventure.
It was better
I
than
can't wait
Cats.
to get it.
All right, I'll show you the pages. Where did I post? I posted them on Twitter to us.
The backstory, however, I thought was very good. I really liked that. I thought it was very well done, and I thought it was very well thought through.
Cool.
All right, so this. Thank you very much. So did you read 1, 2, and 3 all together?
No,
Do I have to deal with
I
spoilers?
cried. I
again?
laughed again. Dang it! Do I have to deal with spoilers again? Well, not really. I mean, you kind of get that this is going to happen from issue 2. So
There's probably going to be a fight at some point in
there's a fight.
the book.
there's gotta be a fight because
And there's that one guy with the hair.
there's just a couple guys talking over tea. And that
Yeah. And there's,
you know.
then
That
there's that
sounds like
one
a good
girl.
book.
They're
There's that one
spilling
girl
the
with
tea.
the ear. That's a pretty colors.
Yeah.
I like it.
Would you please stop
Absolutely.
being so evil? No, I won't be evil, but you must stop being evil. Back and
Force
forth
him.
and back.
Fine,
and
I'm
forth
gonna
and back.
punch you.
That's all right.
Oh,
Let's
would
see if
punch
that
you, but
convinces
this
you
tea
you.
is
call
really good.
that a punch? Yeah. You punch like a little girl. That's what he's gonna say in the bottom panel. That's the exact dialogue I'm gonna use.
Are you really?
That would be a spoiler.
Then a few.
Yeah,
more.
now I understand why I told you to add those pages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause he punches like a little girl.
And then he's just
I
saying,
don't know.
Hit me harder, big boy.
I feel like he's got pretty good form.
These are off of Kevin's suggestions.
well, he just suggested he wanted some comeuppance,
Yeah.
right? So
That makes sense.
A strong
climax.
relationship.
I can't show the 3rd page in this, can I? I mean the 4th page. All right, I'll just show the 3rd page.
Payoff. That's the word I was looking for.
Pow, bing. All right, and then I won't show the 4th page because that is a spoiler.
Yeah, you don't want to know just spoilers. But saying that there's probably going to be a fight between the hero and the villain, I feel like that's like not giving away too much.
Right. So I took the previous page. I deleted the center panel. I kept the first couple panels, and then I added the bottom panel. Hold on, let me go back to this. So here, these 2 panels were from the original page. This was a panel in the original page, but I didn't like how it was drawn, so I redrew it better and more dynamic. And then I added this panel. And then I added those 2 pages you saw, and then I took the last I took the last 3 panels from here.
I like
and
that highlight on his butt cheek.
Of course you do.
and then I expanded to just give a little more gravitas to what happens. Otherwise, everything happened in this one page. And then, so
That was a lot, I guess, to happen. in
it was a
one
lot
page.
for one page. Yeah. So I think giving it room to breathe was the right decision.
Yeah,
Thank you,
absolutely.
Kevin, who is not here, for
Aw.
suggesting it.
He's
Yeah,
with
that's
us in
okay.
spirit.
Wait, are you saying something happened to Kevin?
I hope not.
No, I didn't say that. I just said he's here in spirit.
Gino says,
He's
"Look
with
great.
us.
Glad I gave you money. I'm glad you gave me money too. If you'd like to give me money as well, LoneStarComic.com.
Oh yeah, go there.
I gotta put it on the thing.
All the cool kids give like money.
That's what it is.
LoneStarComic.com is the place to do it. So yeah, that's the update on Lone Star. Now that my computer is back up and running because of the internet. There's this thing that sucks. You don't have the internet. I can't transfer files from my iPad to my computer, so I can letter the page.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. Like, wait a minute, how do I get something from here to there? Oh,
Right?
Oh, man. Thumb
You can't
drives, I
slap a
guess.
flash drive in your iPad, you know.
So you don't
Oh,
have internet
no.
right now? How do you
It
do
doesn't have
this?
any physical
I
parts?
do now. I haven't had it since Saturday. So I don't know how much of my my AT&T bill now, or my T-Mobile bill, will be jacked up from using. The kids were just using hotspots on their phones to play video games on their computers and stuff. I'm like,
Uh-oh. That's probably fine.
I don't think
Depends
they
on
make.
the game.
Do they make flash drives you can stick into the side of an iPad?
I don't know. I mean, it would surprise me if there's some kind of an adapter for it. Like, it seems like you can find almost anything on Amazon. Convert this
A
to that
flash?
or something else.
I can connect my hard drive to it, external, to my iPad.
With the Type C
Should be.
cable?
Mhm.
Oh,
You should be able to.
It was so funny. I was looking for some kind of like multi-adapter thing for my computer. I ended up, it was pink, so I got it, but it ended up being kind of the wrong one. I was looking at it, I'm like, wait, it's got an HDMI port and a C on this side. I'm like, why did I get this? I felt like I really needed this, but it's not going to work for my computer at all. So I'm like, but I just felt like I should keep it. Well, a bit later, I ended up getting a Steam Deck. And that's a cool thing. And I managed to get it to a dual boot Windows. It's a really powerful little Windows computer. So I've got this big, like probably like 15-inch like graphics tablet for drawing on, and that little pink adapter I randomly got for the wrong thing. It's like it was like built to click into a Steam Deck and adapt an HDMI port to it, so I can run my graphics tablet on my dual boot Windows on the Steam Deck. So I'm kind of like, cool. So I could do all my art on that and move things around. It's pretty wild. I'm like, oh, that's why I have it.
Do you like the Steam Deck?
I love it. It's such a cool little thing. I like the size of it. Like, I like being able to have just like one little backpack and put my drawing tablet, my computer, game systems, and
Conventions.
yeah, just everything kind of thrown in there and then carry it around. And it's a lot of fun. I probably shouldn't be spending too much time on the Steam part of it, playing a lot of games, but it runs the Windows applications I need really well. Like, I was able to do the colors for Mike's book on it, and it can run Blender and the game dev software that we use. And I'm kind of like, that's pretty cool. That little computer does
As a workstation, it's really cheap.
Yeah, that's true. As
How much is it?
first. I got one that was upgraded to a terabyte of internal hard drive. So that one I think came to about 500 altogether.
Oh, that's
Is it
cool.
pre-owned?
Yeah, I think it was, but it was
why
a
you got me
pretty
sick.
inexpensive upgrade. And honestly, I couldn't, the Walmart special wouldn't be that good. And I just, it runs on a Linux system, but I was having a hard time figuring out how to install the graphic tablet drivers on Linux to get it to run my graphics tablet. So after all, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to go make a bootable like flash drive for Windows, because the person I bought it from actually included a little 512 gigabyte micro SD card. So I'm like, okay. So I managed to put Windows on that, and so I've got my Windows partition on a little 512, and it's puts it in there. Just okay, which one do you want to boot? I'm like, Windows. It's like,
So the main deck is still Linux. That hasn't
yes,
changed.
that is a
It's just from Linux, you like boot Windows on the flash drive.
yeah.
Don't worry, Gino. It's still a Linux system.
Yeah, it is. It is. I just was trying to get it to run my graphics tablet. There's a way to get it to run the XP Pen, but I was having a hard time trying to get that worked out. It was just kind of like, nah. And I'm like, I need to get this going sooner rather than later. So I just thought, I figured, a Steam Deck is it's a portable gaming system that was made by Valve. Valve is they do Steam, so that's probably the world's single largest distributor of PC games. So if you make games to play on a computer, you're playing them with Steam. and Steam wanted a way for people to be able to have like a portable version of everything that they make. So they ended up developing the Steam Deck, and it's a cool piece of hardware. But they're kind of like, yeah, we're not paying for Windows on this, which is really sensible. So they ended up working with some crew that was doing Windows emulation on Linux, and they're kind of like, how about we send you a bunch of our programmers to help you with your emulation stuff, and then that can all be public domain, and we'll just run the Steam Deck on it. And they're kind of like, seriously? And they're like, mm-hmm. So Valve's got a lot of really good programmers, so they just shipped them on over, and they worked on it, and they're like, cool. And it runs a lot of stuff, and it runs it really well. But Windows is kind of a hog, so Linux is doing really, really well with it. But it's still running my Windows 10, even on a dual boot off of a micro SD card. Perfectly fine for my services. It was running Blender, and I was putting stuff on it, so I'm happy
That's
with
impressive.
it.
That's very impressive. Yeah.
Enjoying it. So, do you like it? Do we have any PC gamers over here?
My kids are gone.
I've bought a bunch of old school games on Steam. I've been wanting one, but I don't have the time or the money to afford it right now for that. But yeah, it's definitely my cousin has it, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. I didn't realize it could do all that though. That's really impressive that it can run all that system software.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with it. I still think it's funny. I haven't really downloaded any games and played games on it. I'm like, you want to try playing some games on your Steam Deck at some point? Like, maybe I'm working. Okay, but
you know, the only thing is that unless you have enough memory, I don't know how much memory does it have.
The one I have was upgraded to a terabyte of internal storage, which is more than any of my laptops. Yeah, it's not bad. And
that's really good. I know for me on my laptop, I ran Steam for a little while, and I started getting performance issues. And I don't really play much, but I had to dump a bunch of software to get it to run properly again. And one of the things that hogged up a lot of memory, believe it or not, was Steam. Because even when it goes to the library, even if I bought a bunch of stupid low grade games, I'm talking about like old school stuff. You know, like I mess around with, if it's on sale, I'll pick something up that I want to try.
Yeah.
Nothing AAA or anything. But anyway, yeah, it was eating up a bunch of performance on my processing speed.
Yeah,
so
maybe
I don't play right now. I still buy games from time to time if they're like $3, $2, $5.
Yeah.
But that's about it. But yeah, that's a dedicated Steam machine. What? I could have been sick playing in bed.
Yeah.
What?
Come on now.
It does make the downtimes a little cheerier. You're like, I'll be fine.
Let's
play more Steam games.
I mean, Steam games, it's just PC games. It's really good.
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't really run into any compatibility issues with it so far. I don't play a lot of the games. The only I used to play Elite Dangerous with my brother.
I heard that some games don't play. Like I noticed that when you're shopping, it tells you it's compatible for Windows, for Mac, and then it says Steam.
Right.
And I wonder if it's because some games won't play on the Steam Deck.
Right.
Disappointing, but
yeah, they certainly have a compatibility list, which is all the games that have been tested. A lot of the games that are on there where they can't save it's compatible are ones that haven't been tested. I know it runs our game,
cool.
But I don't think I ever put it through the process to say as such, which means I should probably go update our page and go, yeah, it'll run on the Steam Deck. But so a lot of times when you see on there, or if it's like Steam compatible and they don't know, it might be like, And there's a question of like, how high end are you playing those things? Like I've known some people that are kind of like, they just don't want to play a game if they can't get 140 frames. And I'm kind of like, oh, you know what? I'm really more than fine on 30. So if it's doing anywhere near 30 or 60, I think I can still consider that game playable. And they're like, nope. So it depends on what the individual person's demands are for what's important to them. Yeah. I wouldn't want to try and animate 140 frames for anything in a second. I'm like, no. 8 frames a second. I can't make it work with that. I don't want to.
On an unrelated note, I just thought I'd say Lone Star 3 is a tour de force of comic goodness.
Yay! We approve. Bravo!
Oh my.
Welcome to the chat.
I have
Jeff.
never seen a comic this good in my life.
Bravo! Sure words.
Go on.
Oh,
I'm
hang
just
on.
getting better, Mike. I can't keep clapping. It's wearing me out.
Alpha plots too. Bravo.
I was Georgian.
What was he last doing before he passed out?
Jason.
He was clapping.
It was great.
I just passed out. Give me my Steam Deck.
No, I
There
just
you go.
I want to hear what people actually have to say about it. So I'm like, that's why I sent it to a bunch of people. But it's like so few people will sit down and read something. You send them for free.
I was almost dead.
I couldn't read it. I didn't have my laptop, so
Oh, I
You
thought
know
you
what?
just said it was the best comic book you ever read.
He read it while he was helping me edit.
Oh, there you go.
Jeff, you've been working on your
Don't
house.
mess up his story, girls. Come on.
Oh,
sorry.
I was correcting his story.
Jeff, who's that guy in your avatar?
that's me.
I never would have guessed that.
Hey, you're wearing the same shirt as me. Wonder
I
Twins.
like,
Oh, look at that.
I like. No. Stop that right now.
David Brohawk Williams says, "What's with all the clapping? What did I miss?"
Greatest comic.
Jeff,
Lone Star 3 is a tour de force of comic goodness. I have never seen a comic this good since ever.
Bravo!
This time with more passion. Oh,
That's
sorry.
what's up. Oh.
And we made Elliot pass out again.
Oh no! Elliot, wake up!
I'm back.
It was such a great book. He just passed out.
he couldn't handle the goodness
Waves of excellence just came over me.
showered upon you.
That's my
And Elliot's infecting us all.
I know, right?
yeah, through the internet.
Andrew Hayes wants to read it now.
I discovered. Have you guys heard of Moontel that on YouTube?
Wait,
or
are you-
TikTok?
Are you trying to change the subject from how good Lone Star is?
No, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Jeff. Go ahead.
I already read the stuff you gave me. I mean, I already made my comments.
That check is gonna bounce now.
Hey, you guys want to see a cool birthday gift that I got?
Yes. We need to see it.
This is a cool birthday gift because it's the most unique thing I've seen probably in my life.
What?
It's because it has everything I love and everything I hate.
Oh,
That's true.
that's an emotional roller coaster.
Phantom
Oh,
Force.
It's Jack Kirby inked by Jim Lee.
Jim Lee.
Oh,
Oh,
Sweet.
that's complex.
That's a good find, man. I've never even heard of that.
I almost slapped myself. I'm so disturbed.
Don't you mean you almost pinched yourself
No.
to make sure you're awake?
All I could say was blasphemy, 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 like a priest in the Exorcist movie. That's all I could say.
Yeah,
But,
Jim's not a good inker.
No, he's not. But Jack Kirby saves it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Look at it. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with y'all.
that's awesome.
Alright.
So did you
Hi,
find
Maji.
that?
Hello, Maji-chan for $2 says, hello, awesome peeps. Don't forget Jeff.
Hey,
Choo-choo.
you there? Can you hear me?
Oh, are you showing more stuff? You sure?
Yeah. What was that? Is this also birthday?
He's thinking
He's thinking about it.
Deep thoughts.
deep
with
thoughts.
jerk candy. Wait,
Wow, that didn't sound
that
right.
didn't work.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear us
I
all right?
couldn't hear anything. I was like,
Oh, how weird.
hey, before I head out, this is what I was.
Before you
took an
head
old-
out,
Oh,
I had an old sketchbook, and I was.
Wow.
that's cool.
I just put water all over it.
Oh, nice.
I made funny pictures for you, Michael.
Dude,
Oh,
you can't
sweet.
leave. You can't leave. You're the cool person.
I have
Looks
to, man.
What are we gonna do? There would be no
Did you
draw.
Get some rest.
he's got to
Did
go
you
play
already have
Steam
your
Deck.
birthday?
Get some rest, man.
You
I
already
want to
had
get some sleep.
Happy
Yeah,
birthday.
definitely feel
Happy
better.
birthday, Elliot.
Yeah, man.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. But later, yeah.
Happy B-Day.
What's
Mine's in 3 days.
yours is in 3 days? I got to remember that. I'm terrible with remembering birthdays. Anyway, I love all you guys,
I love you too,
I'm
man.
glad
Love
you're
you
feeling
too.
some better.
and I love you guys in the chat.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get some sleep because I love sleep now.
You'll feel even better still. I'm sure those chest rattles they do clear up after a bit. So get some rest
They
and
will.
feel much better.
Hopefully.
When I get even better, I'll stay around longer. How about that?
Yeah, there you go.
Happy infected birthday.
Happy healed. birthday.
Happy COVID to you.
No.
Yeah, man, I'm 50 years old now. Can you believe that nonsense?
I know. I know.
Is that
I'm
all?
so old.
You're 2 years behind me.
Whoa.
Maybe
Oh
that's-
man,
But it ain't the
7 behind
years,
me.
Elliot.
Jeff, you're what?
The mileage.
46?
57.
Shut your mouth, boy. You shut
Yeah,
your
but look
mouth.
at him. He doesn't look a day
I
over 70.
can't. I can't. I got DMs coming in.
And there's script coming in. Oh, now look what you did. Look what you did.
I killed Elliot.
Stay alive, Elliot. We need you.
All right,
Absolutely.
Godspeed.
What's up, man?
Peace out.
God bless.
God
Deuces.
Speed.
Laters.
Good night.
All right, later.
God bless.
The gooses. Aloha to our dear friend, Elliot Fernandez.
Yeah. I'm glad he's feeling some better and getting some more rest. Hopefully he'll finish feeling
I guess it's
better,
a little
get
late to
Yeah, too late.
upload this one, but yeah, whatever.
Maybe
Wow,
we'll get him
half
back
a
and see what we said
century.
about him after he
Yeah.
left.
Half a century was 2 years ago for me. $57. Dang, Jeff.
57.
Surprised you made it this far?
Yeah, actually. Cancer didn't kill me. COVID didn't kill me.
Not for lack of trying.
Yeah, well, the beer I'm drinking probably will, but
Nah,
I'll
it's
be
the
there.
carbs you're ingesting.
that too.
Oh, wait.
He'll be
There's
fine.
carbs in
Delicious
beer. I forgot.
carbs.
Vicious carbs. All right. So, who wants to talk politics?
Oh. Let's see.
I
I'll
see
leave that to
Matt
Matt.
unmute himself.
I won't watch any debate of the that was it GOP debate. There's nobody on there that would even consider. Well,
Yeah.
like what's his name? That one black conservative.
Tim Scott.
Larry Elder?
Larry Elder. They won't allow him on the debate. They wouldn't let him in.
What?
What?
Yeah. So he's filing a suit or something against the GOP.
Wow.
my
He said they
gosh.
kept giving him these stipulations. You can only get in if you get over 40,000 donors. So he did. And then they goes, well, you got to get this. And you did. And then the last
Oh.
minute, they're like, oh, you can't because you put this on your website, something about Trump. He supported Trump or something like that. And then he's like, what? So he
What?
said they didn't want him in there because they know he would dominate over all the other stooges.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Dude, he was on a show. He was on a show called is it a morning show, radio show? Is it LA or I don't know? It's kind of like a hip hop type of vibe to the show. and
Hmm.
he went on the show, and it's all like they're all lefties, and he was on there. He was doing really good, man. I mean, they had some hosts on there that were just not too bright, man. They're going at it, going at him, trying to. It's funny because they acted like they were condescending, like he was stupid. And when you listen to him talk, they were like the dumbest people I've ever listened to. And I'm like, dang. And it's like, but they're so. This is the thing. They're so stupid that they couldn't even see how their stupidity. You know what I mean? When you're that stupid, you can't even see. Because if you like get embarrassed, like, oh, I sounded stupid. It means you're usually more intelligent than you give your credit for, right? These guys had no self awareness how stupid they were. It shows you how stupid they were. It's like, oh my gosh.
You realize by saying this,
Idiocracy.
you've implied that. Yeah.
Yeah, Idiocracy, man. I told my uncle about that, and he said he couldn't watch the movie. He said he started watching it, and he said if it's too scary. He's like, it's like it wasn't even a comedy. It was like, it became a documentary.
Oh yeah, like the shoes that for in the film, there was like the lady who's doing the costuming was looking around and she saw these really hideous plastic shoes and she went, "Oh, those are terrible. Those no one with any intelligence would ever wear those. They're Crocs." A couple of years later, everybody was wearing them. She's like, "Oh no, oh no."
Yeah. Oh man, like what is it? One the Idiocracy. Man, it's one of those things where I'm trying to think. I just lost the train of thought here on. There's so many points in that show that made me go, "Oh, that's what it was." Remember, one of the shows that he would watch was called "Ow My Balls," where it was like about a guy who just get hit in the nuts, and then someone showed a show that's actually on TV where a guy's jumping from a high dive, landing on his nuts on 2x4s all the way down, like crashing through them. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, we're there! We achieved! We are literally like, oh, at least we don't have a show like that." And I go, "Yep, we do."
That sounds like a Japanese show.
I was American. All my balls. I'm like, oh my gosh.
And then Jackass came along.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Well, Jackass was around before Idiocracy, wasn't it?
I don't know.
It might have been. I don't know. How old is that show? I never watched it.
Mr. Miller is turning into an unapologetic American now. What do you mean now?
Because you said you wanted to open up the politics.
Oh. Well,
He was just trying to get me on mute. No, I've tamed down, man, over the last couple of years. I've tuned out, actually. Tamed down, tuned out. I don't watch news anymore. I just
like the opposite of tune in.
Yeah.
What is it? Tune in, turn on, drop out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
I just stopped watching it because it just became so ridiculous. It's not even like, it's like you can't debate anybody anymore. It's just so dumb. It's like a waste of time. It's like talking to a guy who's wearing like a chicken on his head and you're like trying to reason with him about politics because the guy's nuts.
Yeah, Gino's watching on Unapologetic American right now, so no problemo.
So it all lines up. There you
Well, you have it on there now too?
Yeah, I'm simul streaming.
Because why not?
Simul streaming on Unapologetic American. I think I might be on Draw Comics Like a Pro as well. But yeah, Gino's there all by himself. All right. Hi, Gino.
All I have to say is, not since Captain America has there ever been such a comic as Lone Star 3.
There you go.
Wait, say again?
Not since Captain America has there ever been a comic like Lone Star 3. Get Lone Star 3 now, today. Don't wait. Order now.
That sounds a little disingenuous. I'm gonna have to have you read that again.
If you want that, you're gonna have to pay $5 surcharge.
You heard that, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff wants you to super chat $5 to.
Wait a second. It goes into your pocket.
Well,
this is no.
Just saying, it's my show.
Gotta fund the arts.
Gino, all by himself on Unapologetic American,
Aw,
wants
you
us
can
to
go
sing
finish
with
it.
him. All by myself. He's on Unapologetic American. All by himself.
The sad part is I remember when that song came out, and I had it on a 45.
Oh, cool. Do you still?
That is sad.
No, all that stuff. I mean, all that
Is
stuff.
that Linda Ronstadt?
No, that was Carmen something like that. Carmen. His name was Carmen something. Hang
San
on, I'll go look
Diego?
it up.
I know,
No.
right?
Knew it.
Eric Carmen. Hang on.
Hi, Fuzzy.
I took a stab at the dark.
Fuzzy.
Shot in the dark.
Eric Carmen.
Oh, there you go.
Eric.
Good call.
He had a bunch of hits around that time. Let's see if I can find him.
We'll wait here patiently while you find them. Blacklist Universe. Are you 5'3" and 300 pounds?
No, that's me.
but I know the reference. Andrew Hayes. I think he wants us to play that song.
Do you get penalized for playing that song, or is he cool?
He doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would strike anybody.
No, I don't think so.
So, yeah, he was with the Raspberries. I have no idea who that is. And
Raspberries.
yeah, the All By Myself was built around a Rachmaninoff piece of music. Piano Concerto No. 2.
I have a 7:58 alarm on my phone. You ever just
That's specific.
yeah, just random alarm times on your phone.
I know. Is there something you gotta take out of the oven?
I don't know. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Maybe I was, making some jerky or something. And
Yeah. Keep your
Any sausages?
no, I already ate my sausages.
Oh, okay. Did you eat the jerky yet?
Not doing any jerky today.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying maybe it's an old jerky alarm.
And it's set weekly, so it's just gonna keep going just in case.
You actually set your alarm for beef jerky?
Yeah.
You realize how it takes many hours to make beef jerky, and
Oh, making it. I thought you were
Sometimes-
eating it.
yes,
You
I
have
need
to
an
pace
alarm for
yourself.
eating beef jerky. Goodness.
I'm glad that alarm went off. I was hungry, man.
I better go eat this beef jerky now. I was just
Yeah,
about to miss it.
The other song that was big from Eric Carmen was "I'll Never Fall in Love Again."
Oh.
Hmm.
Wow, what a depressing guy.
Cashbox said that it has a hook-filled melody and chorus. The tune will doubtless be covered by many artists, but the others will have to work hard to measure up to Carmen's version of his own song.
Well, that's good.
Yes, Eric Cartman, I believe he's saying. All right, let's put
Is
some
it as
art
good as
back
Lone
on
Star
the screen.
3?
Did what?
Is it as good as Lone Star 3?
It's a great
Probably
question.
not.
It is a great question.
There is no greater comic book than Lone Star 3. Buy yours
Fair point.
today.
So, what would you rate Lone Star 3, Jeff, on a scale from 1 to 10?
I would rate it a 9.5.
That's it?
What's like the comic
That's what
book
the
ratings?
text says. I mean,
Like,
I would rate it a 10 out of 10.
All right, that's fair.
there you go. You can't do more than that.
Yeah.
Isn't there like a comic grading system, but like no comic is ever in a 10 condition? It's like it's always like,
There are actually 10s.
really?
Yeah, yeah.
Huh.
What do I have to do to get some of that beef jerky sent with my Lone Star comics?
Ooh.
I don't know about that. I don't think I'm going to be making jerky part of the campaign. Sorry.
It won't make it that far. Nom 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 nom.
Yeah,
You gotta
right?
put an alarm on to eat it.
Probably have drug sniffing dogs be like, "Ooh, jerky,
Ooh, jerky. And then you might not get your comic.
jerky,
I mean-
jerky."
Why is this a little dog ear? Hi, Jimmy.
See what you did there.
Oh, could always ask Jiminy on.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Jiminy never comes on. I
Oh,
send
he
him the
wants
link and
to
he
come
just
on.
ignores it.
Don't you, Jiminy?
Fuzzy Creature says, "Jerky monster. I also want to eat this jerky," says Rusty. What's up, Rusty?
Save us, Jiminy.
Mike is still talking Jersey. Jerky. I
There
didn't
you
bring up the... Wait, did I bring up the jerky? I did, the alarm.
Oh yeah, what the
I
alarm
did.
was for?
It was me.
Trying to
It
guess
was my
what it might
fault.
be.
My apologies. It's not important to talk about jerky. I didn't make any this week. I still have some from last week.
Really? It survived? Oh, cool.
It survived. Well, I put it in my room.
Oh, okay.
'Cause,
Max didn't get it?
No, it's not Max. It's Isaac. That guy demolishes it. He went through, like, I made that big old box, like, 6 pounds of meat converted into jerky, and dude, he ate half of it in like 2 days, and I was like, dude, what are you doing?
Does he need to go to a doctor?
Matt, no, he just loves it. Matt, I have a message for you from Bozo the Clown. Who's the loser artist with an what's that called? Hyphenated? Not hyphenated. What's the little dash thing?
I think it's a hyphen,
No,
isn't it?
it should be between the O and the S. Who is
Oh, apostrophe?
apostrophe? Unapostrophated. Who's?
Who's that bozo? Of course, it came from Bozo the Clown.
Yeah. Jiminy says, I come on sometimes.
Yes, it does. And
Save
find a pair
us,
of eyes
Jimmy.
and some slippers.
Save us.
You can't be shy. You're married without the apostrophe E, apostrophe and the E. It's you. You are married, Alpha Proto. You are.
Or he's talking about his
Oh,
married
for cripe's
sister.
sakes.
I'm just saying. Is it that difficult? Bozo
Actually-
says unapostrophated again. Who's the dumb girl? That's Jeff Potts. Fuzzy Creature says if you got a teenager, you have to keep him well fed with meat and lifting weights all the time. These are the years to get them strength. Gains. Gains. Right. LOL. Grammar Nazi Mike.
Honestly,
I'm
it's
just doing
amazing
my
that he can
part
never-
to educate
it's-
the world
Right.
with sarcastic grammar Nazism.
Hey, did you know Eric Carmen is the one who wrote that song Hungry Eyes?
That
Oh,
too?
yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
he wrote a lot.
That was a huge, huge hit.
Yeah, sing it for us.
No, I'm not going to sing it for you.
I can't remember how it goes, Jeff. Come on.
Look it up on YouTube and show it on the thing and it gets struck.
I'll get
Nice.
struck. I don't want to get struck.
Just one look at you,
Yep.
they hypnotize. Oh yeah, I remember that song.
Blah, 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 blah,
That's
blah,
what
blah, blah.
That must have been
I
in
assume
some
somebody I've
movie
already watched.
soundtrack.
I think Bozo might be watching on. Let's see. No, he's not watching there. Let's see if he's watching on the third channel. Nobody tell him what channels we're on. View on YouTube.
I wonder if Bozo is somebody we all know and love.
Bozo's watching on Draw Comics Like a Pro.
Huh.
With Alpha Proto.
It's probably Elliot.
It's Elliot. Gino. Oh, the new friend. No, Gino, you're on the third channel. Or the second channel. He's on the third channel. And do you want to be friends with Bozo? Bozo, are you, in fact, Joe Biden?
Don't explain it to me.
He's like, no, but I voted for him.
These
You
are the
can't,
jokes.
he can't be Joe Biden. He's talking in complete sentences.
Well, he is misspelling your.
Plus, this is like past his like bedtime already, right?
Come on, man.
Yes, Rusty is over there too. Nice.
Oh man,
Um,
someone made a great video on Instagram where it shows it's from a movie where Kid Rock is like ridiculing somebody, like, hey, little you little sissy boy, and saying stuff. Nobody wants you around here. And then it shows Joe Biden. He goes, "Come on, man," and he's like, "Nobody wants you anywhere." And then he like puts his head down, like on his head in his hands, like Joe Biden at a podium. He's like, "Oh, what's the matter? What's the matter? You gonna cry, huh? Why don't you go to McDonald's and get yourself a Whamburger and some fries?" And then he turns around, and starts jogging away. He's like, "That's right, run, you little sissy boy, run!" He's like, "Oh man, it was so great the way they edit." Because he's like, "Come on, man!" Like he's hurting, you know. And then he puts his head down. Oh, is he gonna cry? And all he has a crowd behind him going, "Yeah," like these bullies cheering. Oh, it's so funny.
it's probably funnier if you brought it up on the screen.
I could do that, but how do you? How would I show it? Like, with the sound, I could send it to you, or it's on Instagram.
Yeah, send it to me.
Okay, I'll send a
I can
link.
share
Gosh, it's so good. That's it. That's one thing about Instagram. There's so many good videos that I've saved so many funny
Pop was
memes.
bad dude.
I got these hairs on my legs, and they're light, and they just stand up.
I mean, I could share Joe Likes Little Girls song.
That's fine.
Watching copyright struck. Let's see. I think I found.
Has
it.
everyone seen Joe
The
Love
lights will literally go off in his
Little
house.
Girls?
Yeah, and the lights will go out in your house. Like it'd be like phew, lost its power instantly.
Present video file.
No.
Wait, you just said show it.
I don't remember that conversation.
What? Arrival of the Earl of Lemongrass.
What?
That's not it. That's not it.
That looks
You
like
got
Adventure
a
Time.
friend in me by Randy Newman, says Rusty.
That's my piece.
Fuzzy Future says, remember, Democrats, you voted for a man who made a little girl only want to shower after he goes to bed.
Oh, I sent a link to you in the private chat, Mike.
All right.
This is hilarious. You got to see it. The volume 2 is
All right.
so good.
Present, share screen. Where's the button?
You crying, boy? We will go back down to McDonald's.
You got to rewind that one.
Let's cry. How about a wine
It'll
again?
start over.
You little sissy boy! Nobody wants you in this town. Nobody wants you around, period. Come on, man. Oh. Look at him, fellas. You crying, boy? You crying, boy? We will go back down to McDonald's and get you a Whamburger and some french fries. How about a Weineken? You little sissy boy! Nobody wants you around, period.
All right, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, I can spend way too much time on Instagram or Reels or
dude.
whatever.
It's easy to get lost in that. It's so funny. So many funny videos just so quick.
Yep.
Oh,
And
man.
also cute cat videos.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know, but we were cracked up watching animal pet videos. They're so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy
Yeah,
videos.
because it's funny. I'm trying to figure out what to do for videos and if I get back on the saddle for Unapologetic American, because I'm not sure. I want to do something that's more organic to what I, am interested in, rather than chasing after headlines and whatnot. Because sometimes it's like I heard somebody else's opinion. I'm like, yeah. I don't want to just repeat somebody's opinion about something. I agree with them. and it's already on the internet. I actually have more fun disagreeing with people, so I don't know. Maybe I should. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should watch things like the Young Turks and left-wing nut jobs, and then comment on what they say rather than chasing that other stuff, because they'll probably talk about a certain topic or whatnot, and then they'll just have a really bad take, and then I'll tell them what an idiot they are. Yay? No? What do you think? I really don't know what to do.
Well, I mean, is that something you feel like you can do without losing much of your peace, or do you feel like that would be taking your calmness and kind of like your productive energy towards a bad place?
There's no peace to be had in this world, girls.
We do know the Prince of Peace, so I'm sure there is some.
Jesus
But
is the only peace.
that is true.
It's true.
It is. Well, I mean, if you feel good about that, it's something you could try, and you can always pray about things and see how it works out. And you're good at editing videos, so I can see where that might be a fun thing for you to do.
Yeah, it is fun. It's fun to edit videos. The hardest part about making those videos, like I said, is coming up with like
Material.
What
yeah, like what do I want to talk about certain things? It's like everything, and I don't want to be like redundant, right? I don't want to be like like the Bud Light stuff. Yeah, it got views, and
He doesn't do what he usually does.
But it does. I know it used. I'm just saying it did, but I didn't. It's like unless there was something new about it, I didn't just want to be like regurgitating for my own sake, and people who want to watch the channel. It's like, you heard this in the last video. Why do you don't want to hear it again on the next video? It's like the same stuff,
Well, after my experiences with putting videos out on YouTube, my thoughts are actually, yeah, they do. And the more they get of it, the better. So.
Don't contradict me, Jeff.
Whatever. Still want my $20.
I want my $2.
$24. Lone Star 3 is the best value for your money.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
With great art, fantastic art, stellar, fantastic art like no other art before, and better than that of Jim Lee's.
Does it say anything about the color?
That's fair. That's fair.
Nah, it didn't say anything about the color.
Oh, okay. Well, it has good color.
It does. Amy,
yeah, it looked really good.
Amy really helped out with the colors.
And like his other and like his other colors, she didn't explode in process.
That's true. Thank you for surviving the process.
Yes. You get a t-shirt.
But I could help.
You get a t-shirt.
Survived.
I wish that
I
wasn't
survived
a joke.
coloring Lone Star 3.
Did I win?
You survived. That is a win.
I colored Lone Star 3, and all I got was this lousy t-shirt.
Oh my
You got
goodness.
survival points.
There you go.
No, I thought the colors were great.
He did a good job with the colors.
It almost made me forget those 3 tangents I found.
You didn't find any tangents, Jeff, and I wish you would shut up. I'm actually working on an NFT right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it the Squid Bros thing or something
No,
else?
it's
Or is it secret?
it's a custom.
Oh.
It's an old custom that's been on order for a while that I never finished.
Oh,
But,
cool.
I can show to yous.
Oh, you can? Nice.
I just finished it, so.
I always hesitate to ask because I never know. Whoa, what's your
NDA's going to
Mhm.
pop up somewhere.
Yeah, I just. Hold on. I'm going to send it to Dude. Then I'm going to grab it on here. All right. Present.
screen?
Share screen. There it is. Oh, a custom. Let me see. Custom number 5 here. Yes, sir.
Oh,
So this
how cool.
This is Huma from Dragonlance, Legend of Huma, which is a comic book I drew many, many yarns ago.
Yeah? Was it like
oh.
an indie project or a Marvel book or?
It was for DB Pro and
Oh, okay.
published through Dynamite, I think. Somebody else here? No.
So how is it revisiting that as a monkey? I mean, the drawing as a monkey. Clearly
Oh, no, it was
enough.
fun. I had to actually look up my art online, but here's the, hold on. Gosh darn it, how do I do this without clicking out? All right, here's Kaz, his Minotaur sidekick as a gorilla. Very nice. Is that a unfinished background or the color on? No. I haven't, because I couldn't send stuff from my iPad to my computer. I haven't been able to put the backgrounds on yet.
Right.
So that will be accomplished in short order. So that's the Minotaur, and then
That works really well as a gorilla.
I've never seen a gorilla minotaur before. That's a first.
Yeah, that's cool.
it's a gorilla car
Mm-hmm.
with a big old double-sided axe.
Gorilla
Really
Thor.
works.
And then this one
Whoa.
is
Metroid.
that's right. That is correct.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously, Samus.
That is correct.
Wow.
Cool.
And then there's a
Hey, that's good
Adam
one. Sweet.
Warlock?
Adam War Monkey.
Warlock? Or monkey.
War Chimp.
Cool.
I don't know. We'll figure that
War
out.
chimp sounds good.
That's awesome.
Rusty saw the tweet for that one. Yes. And then the pièce de résistance.
Oh.
Oh, that's awesome.
Apocalypse.
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 That was cute.
That's cool. I like the colors on that too.
Yeah, I was
That's
throwing
awesome.
down like the purple. I just used like the nebula, and I tuned the opacity down, and I did it, and I was like, oh man, that looks so cool. It's just like an added bounce color. So I did it on this
Yeah.
one, and then I did it on this
The
one,
Metroid, yeah.
and then I
Nice.
didn't do it on this one or this one. But
Oh, that's cool.
maybe I should. I put the blue bounce light on his chin and stuff because of the lighting.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like
That's
those hot spots in the armor look cool too, the blue glow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Apocalypse.
Yes.
There you go.
Apocalypse.
And it's done now.
Yes.
Apocalypse.
All right. I will take care of that post. Ex post hasto.
Well, at least you got internet now, so that makes it a bit
I
easier.
know. Oh my god.
Patronum.
What? Patronum.
Do you guys want to see a short video of Steve Fortune?
What's
The guy, the voice of the Revenant in the Tomb and the Wizard Stone.
Oh.
Oh.
Hang on,
Sup,
let me,
animal.
let me drop it in private chat.
Cool.
Everything is us. Hey, if you're here, please like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Do all that kind of fun stuff. And let's get this train wreck. All right, I need to drag this back over here. Present, share screen.
What have we got?
He's an actor, so
Okay, we're watching this. Why?
that's the guy.
Oh,
Does the-
so
he has
is
the voice
this
for your book?
That's the
voice
guy.
actor?
That's the guy who does the voice narration for my book.
Well, that guy has a face for voice narration.
yeah.
And he looks
Wow.
Yeah,
cool.
he does.
Wow.
He looks like
I
he'd
mean,
be in
is
an Alfred Hitchcock film or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
In fact, my wife said something like, "Wow, he looks a little bit like Alfred Hitchcock."
Oh yeah, that's what I
Like a
was thinking.
stately
Did
appearance.
you say you mean he's fat?
I did not say that.
He looks distinguished.
I probably weigh more than he does.
That's what I thought.
So
Oh,
I
my.
definitely am not saying that.
Are
He
you 5'3"?
usually wears a goatee.
He looks like he'd be in the Maltese Falcon remake. There,
I could
Yeah,
see
sure.
that.
it's one of the bad guys. Remember that rich guy?
So, what? All right, I'm gonna go to his channel now. No, I don't want to message him.
that one
gosh
director?
darn it.
Warner Herzog. Warner Herzog.
Werner Herzog.
It kind of reminds me of that vibe. I don't know his face, his
Oh.
eyes.
He's got a lot of interesting stuff on his page there. What is the deal?
Well, he's an actor.
I recognize some of his
Oh.
faces.
So other things he's been in, I suppose.
Churchill and FDR had a big. That would have made them
kind of
both
have
gay.
like some Churchillian features.
That would have made them gay.
I think it still
Well-
have to be a girl.
So what is this? Is this like
Oh,
I don't know.
unsuspecting actors become 8 prime suspects in the greatest murder mystery the West End has ever known? West End has ever known. Interesting.
Is it a movie?
I don't know.
Maybe
Is it
so.
Photoshopped?
That
No.
could be.
I don't think so. He does, he is an actor and he does stage stuff.
But everybody's kind
Okay.
of put together really well.
All right, shall we get to Trump?
It's over there.
What?
Oh,
All right.
Can we eat that
Talk
Trump?
about Trump.
can you
Well,
do
I
that
just-
without it crashing? Well, that's all right. You could
I mean,
try.
It's on Twitter, right? It's on the tweeters.
Oh, is that what's his name?
Yeah, I
Tucker
haven't seen it
Carlson?
yet. So it's like, what the heck?
Yeah, I haven't either.
Is that Tucker Carlson or something?
Yeah, he was on Tucker tonight. Let's see how many views he's gotten. Tucker, trending. Let's present. Share screen. All right, so far it's got 85.5 million views. I wonder how the Republican thing did.
I don't know.
12.
Million?
Let's look it up.
No.
Probably got a few on
Yeah, but it beat out Rachel Maddow.
She's still in the air?
Republican debate.
Yeah, God help us.
Why?
I thought she retired. At the age of
Live
65.
coverage. Oh, the Young Turks are. Oh, should we watch the Young Turks cover the Republican?
Oh no.
Why do you do that to yourself?
I don't know. Should I?
Did that guy host the Young Turks at Chunk Huger or something?
Oh,
Drunk?
they were watching it live. The GOP debate. 26,000 views. I think Twitter. This 85.9 million views. I think Trump won.
Think so?
Jiminy, do you want the link? Or no? You just trolling. Rolling.
Come on in, Chimney. Spare us. I mean, join us.
You know, we love having
And-
you.
And here's to you, Mr.
Oh, guess what
Rock.
movie I just watched on Tubi? I watched Fletch,
Ah, egg salad.
and I started watching Fletch Lives again.
Oh, Gino watched it. Very good. All right. Let's say
It just came out
Yeah,
where it's
you-
down.
It's debate night, but we're not in Milwaukee.
I don't know if that was the greatest cut ever.
He wanted to say something.
Mr. President, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Why aren't you?
Oh, it's not Tucker on Twitter anymore. It's Tucker on X now.
Tucker on X.
Oh, that's right. They
Must
renamed
be.
Twitter.
Yeah. Elon Musk changed the name of the platform to X.
Yeah.
Twitrex, like
Oh,
Latinx.
that's so original too. X.
Well,
horrible.
I mean, honestly, it is because Elon Musk had the domain name for X before he even had PayPal.
Yeah, well,
In
it's a
previous
SpaceX, right?
quarter century ago. X was his original idea for PayPal. It was he wanted to make basically a digital currency, more along the lines of Bitcoin, but they created PayPal instead, and then he sold PayPal, and that's how he got crazy rich. So
And made the other
It's
stuff.
such a horrible name though. X. It's
Yeah, I'm not.
and the logo's so lame too. It's just his recycled SpaceX logo, right?
X Japan wasn't happy with Elon? What do you mean? Jiminy, you have the link.
You at the Fox News debate tonight in Milwaukee.
Well, a lot of people have been asking me that, and many people said you shouldn't do them, but you see the polls have come out, and I'm leading by 50 and 60 points. And some of them are at 1 and 0 and 2. And
2. I love this part. 1 and 0 and 2.
And I'm saying, do I sit there for an hour or 2 hours, whatever it's going to be, and get harassed by people that shouldn't even be running for president? Should I be doing that? And a network that isn't particularly friendly to me.
Yeah, one thing, when I was popping in earlier to look to see some of the Republican debate, Fox News was bringing up climate change
Oh,
What?
no.
to the Republicans. And they're like, how many of you believe in basically anthropomorphic climate change? And only one guy, and I don't even know who he was, some gray-haired dude raised his hand, or white-haired dude raised his hand. And like,
I immediately got
why are you
straight.
asking this question at the Republican debate? It's
And the guy that raised his hand was like, "Well, my wife's boyfriend is a scientist, so I have direct knowledge."
Settled science, man.
Frankly, they were backing Ron DeSanctimonious like crazy, and now they've given up on him. I mean, it's a lost cause. It reminded me very much of 2016. In 2016, I went through the same stuff and had to fight them all the way, and then they became very friendly after I won, or just about when I was winning. But I just felt it would be more appropriate not to do the debate. I don't think it's right to do it. If you're leading by 50, 60, I have one problem leading by 70 points, and I'm
humble brag. There is a point, I think it was Salty Cracker was making it, that he can't, because he's in this I don't think it's is it a lawsuit, whatever it is with Pence. It's like, if he says anything derogatory about Pence, like to his face, it could be taken as a breach of his parole, or not his parole. What do they call that? His
Settlement?
the indictment or whatever it is. It's like,
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Trying to
Yeah.
influence witnesses.
Why would it matter? Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
hey, Jiminy. What were you saying?
Not
Not you.
Why?
Jiminy.
Oh,
I was saying that it could
like
be
$24.
construed as interfering with a witness. Trying to
Right. That.
because
exactly.
potentially a witness into Trump's case in Georgia.
Oh,
Right.
brother.
Intimidating a witness. So,
Yeah.
Does anybody
saying,
like?
why am I doing it?
What, Matt?
I'll just say, does anybody actually like Mike Pence still?
No, nobody
No.
likes Mike Pence. Mike Pence's wife doesn't even like him.
And I'm going to have 8 people, 10 people, whoever made the debate. I don't know how many
That's
it
his
is,
wife
but I'm going to
votes
have
for
all these
Trump.
people screaming at me, shouting questions at me, all of which I love answering, I love doing, but it doesn't make sense to do them. So I've taken a pass, as you
It's-
probably noticed.
Well, I did. I did. I'm grateful that you did. It's interesting though, because you spent a lot of your career in television.
Yeah.
You had a top show in television on NBC. But you don't feel the need now running for president to do television, obviously. Do you think television is declining?
Well, according to a poll that I guess we just saw, it just came out where it's down like 35%, but I think they were referring to cable. I think cable's down because it's lost credibility. MSNBC, or as they say, MSDNC, is so bad. It's so wrong what they write and what they do and what they say. It's fake news, as I said.
Yeah, obviously the cable channels are losing to guys like Tim Pool and Steven Crowder, and I don't know, maybe even the Young Turks get better viewers than those guys. But yeah, isn't it crazy? It's like CNN used to control the narrative before Fox News came out in, what was that, 1999, 1998? I mean, do you guys remember that? I mean, it was like CNN, and on the other side,
they were respected.
You had Rush Limbaugh, right? It was like you had AM radio and you had cable news dominated by CNN leftists.
Yeah.
Okay, Fox News is a GOP primary post-debate highlights and analysis. It's getting 12K views.
12,000. That's 5 figures, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, this video has so far, I believe, 89 million, maybe 90 by now. I don't know. Views. So good job, Fox. You're really
many voters that Joe Biden got.
Joe Biden.
That's almost as many voters as Joe Biden got.
Oddly enough, Chuck Todd breaking down the GOP debate on Meet the Press is getting 12K views.
Well, I guess if you add those together.
Yeah.
I mean, these numbers are dismal.
Yeah, and Crowder was viewing it, and he's got like 24,000 viewers, right? So Crowder has double the views that Fox News has.
Oh, that's amazing.
And that's only, actually, let's go check it out. See where he's doing on Rumble, too. Crowder. No channels found. What are you talking about?
What?
He's got, holy cow, he has 945,000 people watching on Rumble.
Really?
I'm surprised he still has that many viewers after all that. His wife divorce stuff.
See. What is it? Tucker Trump. Let's see if that's up on. I'm not looking for channels. I'm looking for videos.
Right.
I really don't like Rumble's search function.
Yeah, it's kind of clunky.
Yeah, Rumble.
All right, never mind.
I like their content.
So he's got about 1 million viewers. Crowder, the biggest name on Rumble, biggest name on YouTube, has about 1 million viewers watching the GOP debate, and again, 89 million. Tucker.
Yeah.
King of media, I believe.
There you go.
I came up with that term. I hope I did because it's a good one. It's not tough enough anymore. It's corrupt news. Really what you do is call corrupt news, but somehow that doesn't play as nicely. But it is corrupt news. So you have...
what did they call the propagandists in Germany?
Oh.
Because that's really what it is, right?
Propagandists?
It's church-state propaganda. Not church-state. Media-state propaganda.
Mm-hmm. That's ridiculous.
Lockstep.
MSNBC, and you have CNN, who's absolutely doing no ratings at all. I mean, they're dead. But they're doing none because they don't have credibility. They really don't have credibility. Fox is way down, as you know.
And Gino asks, are these views online that you're talking about? Yeah, they're the online views. The terrestrial views they're not going to be like I'm saying. CNN regularly gets beaten by Tim Pool for ratings.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fox News telecast of Thursday night's Republican debate drew a staggering 23.9 million viewers.
Oh, that's good ratings for Fox these days.
Actually, it is.
Not quite what.
And what did Trump
Twitter.
get?
89 million on.
Jeez.
I feel like Tucker's doing just fine.
Tucker's doing all right.
Mhm.
He's all right. He's all right.
The kid's all right.
Good old days are long ago. I will say this: it could come back, but they just don't have a lot of credibility. Tucker, you know that perhaps better than anybody.
I don't think they can come back. I think even cable. I mean, terrestrial. Forget about it. Nobody even has antennas anymore. But
No.
cable news. Who watches cable? Even when I had cable,
Mhm.
I would watch like Red Eye and Tucker. That's how long ago I had cable. And since then, since I got rid of cable because I realized I never freaking watched anything on cable. It's like there's so much you can watch. You got Netflix, you got Amazon, you got
Mhm.
you got YouTube, you've got, we need to get Rumble on my TV, but you've got all the apps you need to watch
Yeah.
way more crap than you'll ever have time for. Andrew says, I have an antenna.
Does it work?
How do you live in the 1990s? How do you still manage to live back then?
Send us a message so we can all figure that out.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not coming back. That is correct. Gino says, that's all I watch now, except now it's called Gutfeld. And that's just because my brother lets me use his account. Yeah, but I just watch Gutfeld on YouTube. I don't need to watch it on Fox News.
I think it was a terrible move getting rid of you. You were number one on television, and all of a sudden we're doing this interview, but we'll get bigger ratings using this crazy forum that you're using than probably the debate or competition.
Probably.
Probably.
Probably by a factor of 4.
When you say there are people on stage who shouldn't be running for president, who do you mean?
Well, I don't want to really use names, but it wouldn't
like
matter
Pence.
too much. A guy like, I call him Ada Hutchinson. It's Asa, but I call him Ada.
Why do you call him Ada?
I could tell you, but I don't want to get myself in a little trouble. But he's weak and pathetic, and I never understood it. I never knew him. He was the governor of Arkansas. Not a very popular guy. I don't know how but that state is such a great state. The people are so incredible in that state, and they love me and I love them. How does this guy get elected governor of Arkansas? But he's nasty always and has been. A guy like Chris Christie, the guy left with a 8%, think of it, 8% approval rating in New Jersey. Now he's running for president. And he runs solely on the basis, let's get Trump. He's like a savage maniac. He's like
Seriously, does anyone have any clue, aside from he's paid opposition to just talk crap about Trump, does anyone have any clue why that freaking idiot is running for president?
That's the only reason.
It is, isn't it?
That's the only reason.
George Soros is probably paying that guy in Krispy Kreme.
Yeah.
Krispy Kreme.
Well, I mean,
Krispy Kreme is good.
Krispy Kreme is delicious, but it shouldn't be your staple.
I mean,
a lunatic. And that's all
It's not made of meat.
That's right. Could they make some sort of meat-based Krispy Kreme?
If they can figure that out, you'll be a
Inquiring
millionaire.
minds wanna know. It's true. It's true.
talks about the poll numbers are very, very low.
You know,
Ah,
I wonder because I mean, you can whip a meringue. I wonder if there's some way you can take an egg and use some sort of a binding that is not fiber.
you know,
And-
gelatin. If you take that and whip it in
Gelatin.
chill it, and then mix it in, you can make almost like an ice cream with that. So it would
What
surprise
if-
me if you would.
Yeah.
What if you took gelatin, you melted it into like eggs and
Like a
eggs
meringue?
and milk, yeah, like a meringue, and you just whipped it until it was foam, and then you let it maybe mix it with some molasses or honey,
Mhm.
right? So that it's sweet, a little sweet, not too sweet. And you whip it into a foam, and then you set it, or you make, shapes out of it, muffins or donut shapes. and then you let it set, and then I don't know, could you somehow?
Can you quick fry it?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
It would just have to be a little crispy on the outside.
Or would it just
right?
melt? Would it just
I don't
melt?
know. Like, I guess it depends on how quick it's in there. The egg wouldn't. That's a good question. I've
I
never
mean, you
tried frying
you can burn meringue. You're supposed to burn meringue.
Oh, that's true. Like you see
Right?
it like with torches, right?
Right. What if you just torched it and then glazed it with honey or something? Oh.
That would
I
be
ain't
interesting.
gonna lie. I kind of want to try it.
I know. We've been looking at some a cookbook, Cooking Yesteryear, and it's like a collection of cookbooks of recipes and things like from like the 1890s through the 1980s. And some of the older recipes were using a lot of ingredients that aren't commonly used now, and some of the techniques they used to bring together for certain textures, especially during the Depression, when like a lot of sugar leavenings or different
butter.
kinds of butters and things like that weren't available. The way they managed to bring together alternative kinds of proteins to create a structure that kind of worked in a way, it's really interesting, the kind of things that they made with that. I'm like, what's kind of funny what you can do.
Yeah, I'd like to experiment because now I really want a Krispy Kreme donut.
It was about 2%.
What's he like? You know him well.
No, I've been friendly with him over the years, but I couldn't give him a job because I just never trusted him very much.
Good call. See,
Yeah.
you can make a good call on hiring people.
It's important in this line of work. I
That
suppose.
freaking guy.
I was just never one of his people that really trusted him. I never gave him the job, and that's one of the reasons he feels so hurt and so betrayed. And I understand that. I really do. I understand it, but I never gave him. He wanted to be different things. He was looking at different elements of the administration, and we decided. I decided I didn't want to do it. And now
Yeah, didn't he like totally kiss Obama's ass?
Oh yeah.
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 I think it was after one of the hurricanes that hit New Jersey.
Yeah.
glad I did.
Hey, at least Obama showed up. Didn't
Yeah.
wait 13 days and then go talk about how he almost lost his Corvette.
That's true.
Ugh.
It's a pretty sweet Corvette though, so.
That is a pretty
This
sweet Corvette.
island looks like toast.
And his cat.
It's okay. It better be sweet. You paid for it.
Because you
Yeah,
see,
man.
we had some great people. I had great people.
Actually, I think Ukraine paid for it.
We'll have even better people if we do this because now I know Washington
Oh, wait, we paid Ukraine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same thing.
So
Dang it. All right.
before I didn't know Washington. But guys like Bill Barr were terrible. I mean, they were, I would say, Bushies. I say that with respect to the Bush family, but they were Bushies, and just it doesn't work.
I ain't gonna lie, that's not very respectful of the Bushes. The Bushies. Nor should he be. They were terrible freaking charlatans. New World Order douchebags. They had me fooled. I was so excited when George Bush Jr. won. I never liked his dad, but I believed the crap about George Bush Jr. being a real Christian.
Yeah.
Out for us.
It was clear. This is kind of far afield, but it was just interesting. I read Barr's account of his time. He wrote a book about it,
Right?
his autobiography, and in it he lies about Jeffrey Epstein's death. Clearly lies. Do you think Epstein killed himself sincerely?
I don't know. I will say that he was a fixture in Palm Beach.
Yeah.
I don't know what Barr said about it either. I have no idea what he said. What did he say? He killed himself, probably?
He said he
Is that
killed
what-
himself and that they were going to do this investigation. They never did the investigation. It's never been
Yeah,
public.
well, he
And
didn't-
they hid it. And why are they doing that?
He
And
didn't
clearly
do-
Barr knew. But why would Bill Barr be covering up the death of Jeffrey Epstein?
Bill,
Cause he's a pedo.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Barr didn't do an investigation on the election fraud either. Okay? He said he did, and he pretended he did, but he didn't. McSwain, the U.S. attorney in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, said Barr just wouldn't let him do it. It was crazy. Barr became so petrified, so frightened of being impeached. They were going to impeach him. I don't know if you remember it.
Yeah.
It's not a big moment in history. But they said, we're going to impeach. You know, they play a much rougher game, the left, the lunatics. And they were going to impeach Bill Barr, and he was petrified. Now, how do you not get impeached? Don't do any of this stuff. But he didn't do the job there. I don't know what he did with Epstein, but possibly he didn't.
Do you think
do
it's
that.
possible that Epstein was killed?
Oh, sure, it's possible. I mean, I don't really believe. I think he probably committed suicide. He had a life with, you know, beautiful homes and beautiful everything. And
Okay, Trump has not looked enough into this. Trump needs to hang out with Alex Jones more.
He's not going to say Epstein was murdered.
Oh, come on.
He's not going to say it.
Gotta.
He may know it, but he's not going to say it.
He's got to say it, and he's also got to say that it was freaking Hillary and that did it. I would add on to it.
I don't know if he was murdered, but I know he had a lot of information about Hillary.
Yeah. Computers.
You know, Bill was on that plane with him to the Pedo Island, 23 times. It was, everybody knows this.
Mm-hmm. Hillary
and he,
knew.
all of a sudden, he's incarcerated and not doing very well. I would say that he did, but there are those people. There are many people. I think you're one of them, right? But a lot of people think that he was killed. He knew a lot on a lot of people.
Maybe it's gonna go there.
He was killed.
You think so?
I think the closer you look, I'm not a conspiracy person at all. I believe everything I hear. But yeah, the closer you look into it, I mean, the Attorney General of the United States, your Attorney General, clearly lied about the Epstein death.
Yeah,
and
he was.
Why?
He was certainly. It wasn't well done. They had no cameras. They had no anything.
See, he knows.
Yeah.
Freaking
Everybody
knows.
fell asleep.
You're right. He's just he's refusing to say it.
Told
He
you.
knows.
Everybody was sleeping, and you know, the case could be.
There's that.
The guards were taking a nap. They had blindfolds on. The
Duh.
lights were out. Hillary
There's going to be
was
a pinata
there.
party. They
Barking
forgot
at
the pinata.
Made look. I'm not going to get involved in it, but I can tell you the case could be made either way. But it certainly wasn't the most well-run place.
So the reason I'm asking you is I'm looking at the trajectory since 2015 when you got into politics, you know, for real, and then won. It started with protests against you, massive protests,
Right.
organized protests by the left, and then it moved to impeachment twice,
Right.
and now indictment. I mean, the next stage is violence. Are you worried that they're going to try and kill you? Why wouldn't they try and kill you? Honestly,
They're savage animals. They are people that are sick, really sick. You have great people in the Democrat Party. You have great people that are Democrats. Most of the people in our country are fantastic.
No, you don't.
You know, that's fair because there are, there's good people on both sides.
Yeah, they're all dead now, but they had some great Democrats.
No,
They got rid of them.
Robert Kennedy Jr. is still a Democrat.
Yeah, I don't trust that guy.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, I wouldn't want him being president, but VP, let's go.
I don't know about that.
Heck yeah, dude. He would pull 25% of the Democrats. He would a Trump Kennedy ticket would be uncheatable. They'd be like,
but he
like
400 million people voted.
But he wouldn't. But he wouldn't win all of the undead or all of the dead Democrats.
That's what I'm saying. It would
Those
be,
are the ones that
there would be
count.
more people voting than exist in America.
Yeah.
And I'm representing everybody. I'm not just Republicans or
Right.
conservative. I represent everybody. I'm the president of everybody. But I've seen what they do. I've seen the lengths that they go to when they make up the Russia. When that's exposed and they go down, and Barr should have gone after them, and other people should have gone after. And they did very late because the Durham report came out. It was fairly good. It could have been a lot tougher, I guess, but it was fairly good. But it explained how corrupt it was. I'll tell you who did a great job was the Inspector General Horowitz. He did a phenomenal report. You didn't have to go to Durham. He did it on Comey and on, I guess, McCabe and some others. And it was a vicious, it was basically a true report, how bad they are. But these people are sick people. These are people that I think they hate our country. You want to know the truth. Mm-hmm. When you see open borders, when you see these policies that they have, and so many other things, it's so sad to see. We have a country that's very fragile right now. I've never seen, I will say, look, I ran in 16, which was 15, but I ran in 16, election in 16, and there was tremendous spirit. In 20, there was even more spirit. We got millions and millions more votes. You know, it wasn't even a contest. People said, well, what'd you think of 20? I said, we did much better. We did.
See, this is the kind of thing I'm talking about, where it's like, if I sit here and I say what we all already know, which was like, yeah, there's no freaking chance in hell that Biden got literally only a handful of counties in the entire country, and yet somehow he got more votes than Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, or Donald Trump, who had the most in the previous. See, it's like I'm regurgitating this stuff. It is my opinion, but I feel like everybody already knows it. So it's like, what's this is me going back to what kind of videos I want to make. It's like, why? I know it's important for like new people to hear that stuff if they don't know it already, but who by this time doesn't already know all that stuff, except for like
half the country.
Democrats.
The people are kind of turning now.
Is that what we're doing? Are we evangelizing to the Democrats that there are so many things you didn't learn on CNN and MSNBC because they hid all of the facts from you?
That's true. I mean,
That is
they
a good-
lied a lot.
Yeah. Now I'm like convincing myself that's actually important. It's like,
Yeah. Could be because, oh my gosh.
But and then again, so what would it be? It's like if I'm trying, if the purpose of my channel then and my videos is then not to just build a channel, but to reach Democrats. I mean, you got guys like Russell Brand out there doing that in force. I mean, his original audience was a bunch of liberals who are being slowly red-pilled because he's being slowly red-pilled, and he's, you know, the Overton windows moved so far over to the left that people think he's a centrist now.
So the left thinks he's a righty now, and they
Yeah, the
think
left
they also
thinks
think was it Bill Maher's a righty too now?
Yeah, yeah.
And I
Bill
go,
Maher.
dude, he sounds the
Maher has
exact
the
same as he always did. Just that they went so far to the left, they're on the other side of a planet. you know?
Yeah. The total number of votes for the 2024 election will be 400 million. I said that first. The people who would likely not watch your show, Mike. Yeah. So that's the thing. It's like, do I then, go to people like Young Turks or people who I disagree with and like feature them in order for people who might be fans of them to come want to watch what they're saying and then being corrected? I don't know. I don't want to just feed. Gosh, that's a terrible thing to say. I was going to say I don't want to feed the sheep, but it's like
preach to the choir.
Pretty much, yeah. Preach to the choir is better.
Because we're
'Cause
kind
we're
of
called
told to feed the sheep.
Yeah.
Of course, we're supposed to be feeding God's sheep the word, but
Right.
you know.
Right. So, oh, by the way, I will next month be starting up daily Bible study with Rise and Fall again.
Oh, wonderful! Yay!
Cross examinations will return. It will be on Unapologetic American. So
cool, very good.
I love to hear it.
All right.
You got to base it on the number of votes. We got many more votes in 20 than we did in 16. But the election was rigged. It was a rigged election. And with COVID, they used COVID to cheat in a lot of different things. And we have so much on it. It's like so easy. But we had judges that didn't want to look. We had people didn't want to get involved. They called you, he's a conspiracy theorist if you say anything about the election. But I have never seen spirit like there is right now. Even coming down here, just the people on the road that are just absolutely going crazy. And the reason is, I think they like me, and I know they love my policies. I hope they like me too. You know, a lot of people say they don't like me, but they like my I think they like me. But I have never seen spirit like it is right now. And the reason is because crooked Joe Biden is so bad. He's the worst president in the history of our country. I don't think he's going to make it to the gate, but, you know, you never know. but he's a corrupt person. So corrupt that I took the name off Hillary. You know, I don't do two people at one time. I took the crooked Hillary and I retired the name. That was a good day for her.
This is one of his. He says that in his campaign speeches every single time.
I bet she was very happy. And I used it for Joe because it's Crooked Joe. But Joe is really.
But you don't think he's going to make it to November of 2020?
Well, I think he's worse mentally than he is physically. And physically, he's not exactly a triathlete or any kind of an athlete.
You know, that's. And just to be kind of serious here for a second, it's when you have that kind of mental decline, it snowballs.
Mm-hmm.
So by him not making it, dude, he's got a whole nother year to go.
Mm-hmm.
And just we've seen the decline just since he got elected.
Right.
In these past 3 years, it is like dirt. He's getting like
worse,
twice as bad every couple months.
Yeah.
And man, I don't think he's gonna. I mean, it could just kill him outright, not just debilitate him to the point where they can't drag him out in front of people and shoot him up full of adrenochrome and cocaine. Adrenochrome? Coca-chrome? I don't know.
You look at him, he can't walk to the helicopter. He walks. He can't lift his feet out of the grass. You know, it's only 2 inches at the White House. That's not a lot. But you watch him, and it looks like he's walking on toothpicks. So, and then you see him on the beach where he can't lift a chair. You know, those chairs are meant to be light, right? They're like 2 ounces. You lift them up. He can't lift the chair. He can't walk to the chair. And I don't know what they're doing with the beach. You know, this beach is seeming to play a big role, but they love pictures of him on the beach. I think he looks terrible on the beach. He looks terrible on the beach.
Skinny legs.
Well, he can't walk through the sand. You know, sand is not that easy to walk through. But when he walks through it, he can't walk through the sand. And there's somebody in there that thinks he looks fabulous at the beach. I think he looks horrible at the beach. Plus, the beach doesn't represent what a president's supposed to be doing. He's supposed to be working. He's supposed to be getting us out of that horrible, horrible war that we're very much involved in with Russia and Ukraine. You could do that. You could do that very easily. I believe you could do that I don't believe he could do it because he's just incompetent. But that's a war that should end immediately, not because of one side or the other, because hundreds of thousands of people are being killed.
How many of you guys actually think if Trump got elected, that war would be over before he took office?
Before he took office?
Before he took office? I don't think so.
How about the day he takes, straight like Reagan got the hostages back?
It'd probably be over within a month after he took office. I would
The
say.
day he swears in, they're like, okay, because you know he'll be talking to them before he gets sworn in.
Like Reagan.
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, if I'm not assassinated before I put my hand on that Bible and this war isn't over, there's going to be hell to pay. They'd both be like, okay.
He would be correct
All
to do it.
Get him over. We blew up all of your biological labs anyways. That's all we were there for.
We don't want them, so that's fine.
Yeah, so everybody thinks that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be fine with that. Yes, absolutely.
And then the Democrats, just like they did with Reagan, they'd all come in and say, like, why didn't you get them out earlier? He wasn't
Seriously?
You waited 5 hours instead of 3.
Yeah. No, they said it's like, why weren't they released while Carter was in thing if Reagan was negotiating with them beforehand?
Right.
And it's like, because he wasn't in power.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Right? It's like you have to take the job before all of your threats or your negotiations have the weight of the office.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then why didn't Carter do it?
I don't think it would be over the day he wins.
He was too weak.
Do the day he wins.
But the day he wins, he will have the power to be like, Zelensky, come over here. I got something to say. Putin.
How you doing? Hey, Poots.
Gotta
How you
chill, bro.
doing?
Gotta chill.
That's when the third impeachment starts.
Exactly.
Does he only have to 3 now?
The impeachment starts actually before he even, hits the primary or general election.
Probably.
No. As soon as he does hit, he's
We can't wait for him to get sworn in so we can.
Impeachment proceedings have started on President Trump, even though he's not president right now.
Yeah. Well, that's what the indictments are for. The indictments are out of office impeachments.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Can you imagine you're in an apartment house and rockets are going into that building
That's
and
exactly
blowing
the
it
point.
up
They
and
would
knocking
probably
it
say
down?
he
And
conspired with Russia and impeachment.
who can? Why should anything? Why should anybody? Human beings, these are human, whether they're Russian or Ukrainian or whatever they are. Got to be stopped, and it can't be stopped very easily. It would have never started if I were president.
Oh yeah,
it would have never started.
True.
So back to Biden, I'm interested. So you think he's failing? He obviously is failing. I think it's.
He just called Putin. What are you doing? What? What are you doing, Putin? You can't do this, Putin.
Nope.
But that is biological labs. I know. I'll take care of the labs. Don't worry about it. You got this. Get your tanks out of Ukraine. Okay.
Clear to everybody. But that would make Kamala Harris the candidate?
Well, not really. I mean, I guess they'd have maybe a free-for-all. A lot of people say she has to remain for certain reasons, the candidate. She has to. I don't think that's true, actually. I don't think that other people would stand for it. She has some bad moments. Her moments are almost as bad as his. I think his are worse, actually.
Yeah.
But
She seems pretty senile, too.
she speaks in rhyme.
She's a ditz.
It's weird. It's weird. But she has bad moments. And
in rhyme? What do you?
Well, the way she talks, the bus will go here and then the bus will go there because that's what buses do. And it's weird. The whole thing is weird. This is not a president of the United States future. And I think they probably have some kind of a primary and other people will get involved.
We like to
Newsom,
work
right?
because working is work
Yeah.
for
And we
the
like it.
working.
And if you like your work, it's not really work, but it's something you like. And it's like, wow.
But we need to work, so therefore it is work.
Yeah.
And all of the workers know this.
Right? I mean,
Could be. I mean, you know, I always got along well with him, believe it or not. But could be him, could be somebody else. He's got a big load on his shoulders because you look at California, what's happened. But I don't know if the American people really, the people that vote for him, I don't even know if they care. You know, you look at so many of the things that are
Big
going
load
on, and
appropriate for
people don't seem to be. In the old days, if you had a bad record, it meant a lot. Today, if you have a bad record, it doesn't really mean anything. You know, he looks good. He's a nice-looking guy, speaks well. But Biden, every time you watch him talking, it's like he's walking on eggs. You're waiting for him to collapse.
Yeah.
And he almost always does. And I got to know the leaders of all of the countries, essentially, but the big ones. And the bigger, the tougher the leader. You know, it's like sort of, I guess maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. But I got to know President Xi of China and Putin and Kim Jong-un, North Korea. Did a great job with North Korea, kept us out of a nuclear war. We would have 40,000 dead soldiers right now. They'd drop a nuke right on top of the military base.
I gotta say, that's, man, when he went over and just, I feel like he went over there and not bullied, but like, you know how I felt like that little Kim Jong-un dude like looked up to Trump,
Yeah.
like respected him like as a strong man, and like, yeah, he like snapped right into shape for Trump. He was, like, fawning over him.
He was actually kind of treated like he was somebody on the political stage and not just that weird little country that China kind of looks after or something.
Yeah, I think relations between the Koreas, if Trump gets back in office, will at least have a shot again, because I think him leaving that took the muzzle off that crazy little dude. Which I know that whole family's screwed up and whatever, but it's like that's how he was raised to think, right? The entire country believed his dad was like, I don't know, a freaking god or something. And so he's got that same crazy royal mentality, right? And then that's how you keep your people in control and all that kind of, it's a real medieval mentality
No.
in that country.
This is what people might have had a long time ago.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense in the modern vernacular, but maybe it wasn't so strange.
I mean, really, it's pre-World War II Japan.
No,
Where they,
I guess
I mean,
that's
obviously,
true.
you know, Hirohito didn't treat the people quite as crappy as he does, but
That's
that
true.
mentality that the emperor is God on earth
Mhm.
and that, you know, he can do no wrong. That's why the suicides didn't start in Japan when they got nuked. The suicide started when they signed the peace agreement. When the Hirohito surrendered to the Americans, that's when the Japanese people started killing themselves because they lost faith in their God.
Oh dear. Needed that power revoked.
And that's just what I see in modern North Korea.
We have 40,000 soldiers over there. And I did great. I got along with them great. That's a positive. You know, the press said, he said nice things about Kim Jong-un. I also said horrible things at the beginning. Horrible enough that he wanted to
Rocket
talk.
Man!
And we talked and we met in
Nukes
Singapore. We
out
met
of Japan.
actually twice. And we had unbelievable meetings. I know him very well. We were in great shape with them.
What do you think he and Xi and Putin think of Biden?
I think they can't believe it. I think they probably say this is some kind of a system. You know, they had great respect for our country. They respected me. They had great respect for our country when I was there. Every one of them. Look, if you go to North Korea, you take a look at what happened. You know, the Olympics was dead. South Korea spent billions on the Olympics. Nobody was going to go. They didn't want to get blown up. They called me and they said, we are going to let the Olympics proceed. This is North Korea. I said, you should go into the Olympics. Put your athletes in. It wasn't like, you know, they were big on athletes because, you know.
Famine.
But they went in and they actually participated. And within about 2 days, the entire thing was sold out. And
you know, this just an idea that came to me that the instability of the current American political climate, where we are so divided, and our foreign, like,
It's a shaking.
our foreign dealings, right? It's like we go back and forth so quickly. Like in the old days, it's like you might have gone from, you know, JFK to who was after JFK? Ford?
What?
LBJ.
LBJ. I mean, you might have had these guys and that, you know, Democrat, Republican, but they had a consistency of foreign policy,
Right.
that didn't, you know, flip on a freaking dime because the president got, you know, the election stolen. But you went from, you know, George Bush to Barack Obama, and then Barack Obama to Donald Trump, and then Donald Trump to Joe Biden, and it's like so schizophrenic. I can totally understand all of these other dictators or countries that don't have turnover presidents being like, I can't even freaking make a 5-year plan with your country,
right?
Because who knows what's going to happen in 5 years with your leadership.
And speaking of schizophrenic, I'm going to bow out because I'm getting tired. So, thanks for having me on, and
buy his
rock
book.
on. Buy my book.
And always listen to Jeff when he talks about how great Lone Star is.
Yes, Lone Star is a tour de force of comic legendary.
Awesome.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Take care, Jeff.
Have a good night, Jeff. God bless.
Night, Jeff.
They really have that
Good night,
much
Jeff.
consistencies, though, relative to the way it has been the last 20 years. Yeah, they did. Not, I mean, I would say even freaking the difference between Carter and Bush. No, not Carter and Reagan wasn't as diametrically opposed as Trump and Biden. That's how much more unreliable our foreign policy is. I could be wrong, but you'd have to prove me wrong.
It's been pretty wild.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
never happened. But I got along very well with him, and that's a positive thing. He does have massive nuclear power, by the way. And if Hillary would have gotten in, or if the Obama thought process continued, it would have been a nuclear war, absolutely, with North Korea. He was expecting to go into a war, and it would have been a nuclear war.
So do you think the rest of the world looks
Without
on
a
at
doubt.
Biden and thinks someone else has got to be running the government?
Well, somebody else has to be.
They have to.
I don't think he's capable of doing
No.
anything. Look,
I
when I
honestly don't
debated
think he's
him,
capable of putting
I
his
said,
own
how
clothes on
come, and this was in front of probably not a friend of yours, Chris Wallace. He was the moderator.
Not a friend.
I said, why is it he wants to be Mike, but he doesn't have the talent?
Not a friend.
Not a friend. Stone
Just want to
face.
clarify.
Stone
Yeah.
face. Not a friend.
Not a friend.
Aloha, Dennis Parich. What's up, buddy?
Talent. It's one of those
Bitchy little man.
He wanted to be his father, but he didn't have the talent of his father was great. His
He's a
father,
little fussy man.
his father interviewed me in 60 Minutes. It was actually a 10. Can you believe
I
it?
totally.
may
His
have got-
father had talent, at
No,
least.
I may have been the only guy that he gave a good 60 Minutes. So he was rough.
Really?
His father was tough. He was great, though. He was great at what he did. But Chris Wallace was so upset. He was guarding this guy who wouldn't do a show, by the way. He wouldn't do. I figured I didn't mind Chris Wallace because Biden wouldn't do a show. And it was very obvious. He kept asking him, but he wouldn't do the show. So I figured he's got to like me. But he came
It was Chris Wallace, Dennis.
Yeah.
from a different planet. But remember when I asked the question, why is it that the mayor of Moscow's wife is allowed to give you $3.5 million? Don't forget, that was brought up. Now it's brought up all the time, but that was brought up by me long before anyone ever heard of it. I said, the mayor of Moscow's wife giving you $3.5 million. What did you do to deserve $3.5 million? To Biden. And Chris Wallace said, this has nothing to do with the debate. I mean, he fought.
He got in the way of the question.
No, it was crazy. And I said, well, wait a minute. He got $3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow's wife. Now people forget that, but you go back and take a look, you will see. And Chris Wallace didn't want me to ask that question. I said, I think it's a very appropriate question.
I was so freaking disgusted by Chris Wallace and Fox News in that debate. I was like, dude, you are totally loading the guns for the other team, and you're supposed to be fair and balanced here. And it's, oh my gosh, it's not like I lost all respect for Fox News because I had very little left to begin with.
Yeah.
It turned out to be much more appropriate than people thought.
Amazing. So do you have a preference in assuming you're the Republican nominee and all goes as you plan it to go?
You know what I love about Tucker is he's actually sitting there listening. He's not like sitting there waiting for the next question. Right. He's like having a real conversation. He's listening and absorbing what Trump is saying and responding.
2 ears, 1 mouth.
Yes.
Do you have a preference in who you run against?
In many ways, I'd love to run against him because his record's so bad. It's still horrible when you look at inflation and everything else, but others also have very bad records. I mean, California's a bad record, so, should it be Gavin or should it be somebody else? When I look at San Francisco, what's happened to that incredible city? That was one of the greatest cities in the world just a short while ago, and now it's very sad
It's
when
a
you
toilet.
look at it. Los Angeles. Every city, practically, all the Democrat-run cities. Republican-run cities are doing very nicely.
Like a toilet.
Because they arrest people when you have crimes. And they don't go after political candidates because they think it's good. It's been amazing. My poll numbers are the highest I've ever had.
Yes.
But because people understand it.
Can I just ask you, that
Yes.
gets back to my original question. So if the protest didn't work, you got elected anyway.
Yeah.
Impeachment didn't work twice, obviously. Indictment is not working. Your poll numbers go up. When they raided Mar-a-Lago in August of last year, your numbers went up.
Yeah.
They can indict you 20 times, and you're not gonna lose the Republican primary because of that.
Right.
Well,
So,
it makes
the-
it look even more ridiculous. I mean, the 4 indictments, and maybe there'll be more. I don't know. These people are crazy.
But they're counterproductive. So if you chart it out, it's an escalation,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying. So what's next after, try to put you in prison for the rest of your life? That's not working. So don't they have to kill you now?
They're legitimately trying to kill him. They want to put him in prison for treason.
Yep.
it's a shooting offense.
And then what do you think happens when you're in prison? Just ask Epstein. Oh, wait, you can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the people of our country don't get enough credit for how smart they are. And I'm not sure I would have said this 10 years ago, but they get it. You know, they really get it. When somebody gets indicted, your poll numbers go down. When somebody gets indicted, you announce, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be leaving to spend time with my family and to fight for the rest of my life on this stuff. But you're out of politics. I got indicted 4 times. All trivia, nonsense, bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's horrible when you look and you look at what they're doing.
Sorry, Lester Sisters.
The boxes hoax. I'm covered by the Presidential Records Act. I'm allowed to do exactly that. He's not covered, and he's got 25 times the number of boxes, and he's got them stored in Chinatown. He's got them stored in a flimsy garage underneath his Corvette at Penn. And by the way, at Penn, he gets millions of dollars. China pays this guy millions of dollars.
Yep.
See, I think he's the most corrupt president we've ever had.
Yeah.
And he also has the distinction of being the most incompetent. And I believe both. I mean, he's both incompetent and corrupt.
So
and
who
I
is running the
actually
government?
believe he's compromised because China knows so much about him. They know where the money comes from. They know where it is, who paid it. And
You know, it's really astonishing to me that the Democrats put Biden in the White House. And because of how
They didn't
obviously
want to.
corrupt he's been his entire career, all the stuff they had, like on tape, the Burisma stuff on tape.
Right.
I mean, all the stuff, everybody knew what a crook Joe Biden was. All those Democrats in power knew what a crook he was. And yet they still chose to put, because they just placed whoever they wanted in there, right?
Yeah.
He didn't win any freaking nominations. They freaking did that himself. And somehow or another, they're like, "Oh yeah, this is the guy we want."
Well, they knew they could control him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they knew that he was the empty suit. That he was a puppet. He was going downhill mentally, so they could easily maneuver him to do whatever they wanted. So, you'd rather have him in charge, you know, sort of fumbling his way through, rather than someone who might have a mind of their own and decide, you know, no, I want to
Get their own
this.
Like
you don't
Kennedy.
You don't want somebody, with chutzpah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else was running that year? I don't even remember.
Everyone. You know, Kamala. You had Pete Buttigieg. You had who else was running? Half of them are on this cabinet now.
Crypto is a lousy investment.
Yeah. Elizabeth Warren was there. You had the what's her name from Hawaii?
Oh wait, I have a clip of Christie too.
Nice. Not thrilling, but nice.
Crispy,
Sorry.
Krispy Kreme.
Crispy.
they probably
Chris-
paid
Chris-
it. Well, they do pay Penn, and he gets $1 million. I think he takes $999,000 because keeps it a little bit under $1 million, like by $1. But he, in many ways, is a Manchurian candidate. We have a Manchurian candidate, and he's afraid to tell Russia to get out of Cuba. He's afraid to tell China to get out of Cuba. He's afraid. China now is building. Think of this. China is building military installations in Cuba. The Cuban population of Miami is not too happy because they're never going to be able to go back. And you don't even hear about it. And the worst culprit is the press, the media, because normally, when I first heard that China's building installations in Cuba, and installations means military installations, okay, they said just some communication. They did that on the islands with Japan. They took the island, they started this massive construction. And they told everybody, including the Japanese had to be very careful. They told everybody that this is a housing development. They're going to build a housing development. And I said, how come the runway is 20,000 feet long? Private jets need 4,000 feet. They don't need 20,000 feet. The big ones need 20,000 feet. They don't even need 20. And I looked at the runway. I said, that's the largest runway ever built, both in width and length, for housing development. There's nobody that has a plane that big that you would have a runway that's
Why
that's
is
for
China
testing.
allowed to conduct imperialism in our hemisphere.
Well, yeah, and it's far beyond Cuba. It's all over South America.
Yeah, in the Caribbean.
So we built a thing called the Panama Canal. We lost 35,000 people to the mosquito, malaria.
Yeah.
We lost 35,000 people building. We lost 35,000 people because of the mosquito. Vicious. They had to build under nets. It was one of the true great wonders of the world. As he said, one of the 9 wonders of the world. No, it was one of the 7. It happened a little while ago, There's 9 wonders of the world. You could make 9 wonders. He would have been better off if he stuck with the 9 and just said, yeah, I think it's 9. But this is one of the true 7 wonders.
Talking about Notre Dame?
They're talking about the Panama Canal.
No, he said now there's only 7.
Well, he was referring to Joe Biden saying there were 9 about a month ago.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he was at the Grand Canyon and he was talking about the 9 wonders of the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wonders of the world. And you take a look at the Panama Canal. It was such an incredible engineering marvel. We sold it under Jimmy Carter. We sold it to Panama for $1. The following day, they quadrupled the amount of money that ships had to pay to get across. They didn't lose 1 ship. And now they've made it much bigger, and now they've widened it. They've doubled it, right? They've more than doubled it. And it's one of the most profitable things. Any time it's just incredible, right? We gave it away for $1. China now controls it. They actually control the Panama Canal. They run it.
Did you guys know that?
No.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow. And Panama is like a huge expat country too.
MSNBC didn't tell me.
No. You think it'd be on CNN somewhere?
Where can I get this information?
Yeah, I checked at CNN. It wasn't on there either.
Oh.
Jeez.
They control it. And we shouldn't let that happen. And we can't let China be in Cuba. And they'll get out. If I'm president, they'll get out. Because I had a very good relationship with President Xi, but he respected this country. He respected me. And he'll get out. And we can't let them run the Panama Canal. We built the Panama Canal. Should have never been given to Panama. We should have had it. But we gave it for $1. Think of it. They quadrupled.
You know, we should send Elizabeth Warren down there to take it back.
There you go.
She could be our Indian giver.
Oh boy.
Huh?
Oh, boy.
Huh?
I
Come
got
on.
it.
Indian giver.
That's a big one.
In one day, they lifted the fees, which are, pretty big, for these massive ships to go through, right? Rather than going around the Cape and through all the tremendous storms, such beauty, when it's beautiful stuff. But you didn't want to get caught in those storms. Those were storms that wiped out the biggest ships.
Dude, I didn't even think about that. Kamala could go too.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a different kind of Indian giver, but still. Punchy Panda says Winnie the Pooh needs a way to transport his honey. Oh, bother.
Hey, Nolan.
Nolan, come on in. You got the link.
And we go through the Panama Canal. We built it. And we gave it away for $1. Think of that. How stupid are we? We have done the stupidest things in this country. And now we have a president that can't put 2 sentences together, can't speak, can't walk, can't talk. I don't think he gets to the starting gate, but these people do miracles. I mean, he ran out of his basement, and you got away with that one because of COVID, so he sort of got away with it. They cheated on the election. But you have people that are very smart, but they're fascists and they're radical left lunatics, and they're destroying our country with the all-electric cars and the windmills all over the place, which, by the way, don't work, and most of them made in China. For the most part, they're made.
I would just like to point out a fact. I did the math on this myself. With all of the lithium known sources, not just what we have available, but what we have available to mine, and the weight, how much lithium it takes to run one electric car, you could not make enough electric cars just in one shot to cover the vehicles that are around today. So if you
What do you
got
mean?
into a place where all of the cars were electric,
Right.
you could do it less than one time, and you'd be out of lithium on the planet.
Oh, if you replace all the cars, gas cars with lithium battery
Yep.
cars. Okay, there's,
Yeah.
there's not enough to do it.
It is.
Got
It is
Well-
not a solution for the future.
Right. Yeah.
Creating new types of batteries,
Mhm.
maybe.
Yeah.
But
Nuclear.
yeah.
Salt batteries?
You need 0-point energy, magnet-driven cars, but that's a totally different topic.
And in
Nuclear
China,
power
Germany a little bit, but China. But you look at what's happening to our country, even no voter
Sounds
ID.
great.
I mean, why
Lithium
don't
is
they
for
want voter
losers.
ID?
And
There's only one
bipolar.
reason they don't want voter ID, because they want to cheat. I mean, who doesn't want, the Democrat convention, the last one, they had voter ID that was this big. It looked like a prison card, this big on
What
their
about
chest.
salt
You walked in, they
batteries?
had your picture, your this, your fingerprint, they had everything. The most incredible voter ID I've ever seen. That was to get into the Democrat National Convention. But to get into vote, if you buy groceries, if you buy practically anything now, you have ID on a card, credit cards or otherwise. And
But don't you think it's racist to have to show your ID?
well, they probably say that. They use anything not to show ID because voter ID is pretty simple. And we could go back, and we should go back to all paper ballots, voter ID, same-day voting. France did it. France had mail-in ballots, and it was terrible. Anytime you have mail-in ballots, you're going to have massive cheating on your elections. Anytime, but not just the presidential election. Anytime you have.
Isn't that the whole point of them?
Yeah.
So you can
Oh,
cheat?
yeah, sure. That's their whole point. That's their whole point. They want to cheat. Yeah. They have to cheat because their policies are so bad that if they didn't cheat, they couldn't get elected. Who wants open borders? Who wants high taxes? Who wants high interest rates? Who wants to not be able to use a gas stove?
Crazy. By the way, I refilled the Pilot. Hey, Max. I refilled the Pilot a couple days ago. It was $95.
What?
$95
a stove?
freaking dollars to refill my car. The gas.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
for the fuel.
What type of car do you have?
Honda
Hummer?
Pilot.
You have a Hummer?
It's a Honda Pilot.
Oh, okay.
Is that a big car or a little
18
car?
18-gallon tank. But still,
Oh.
dude, that's.
Oh, you're in
I've
California.
never paid $95 to fill my tank before.
Yeah. How much is gas there now?
It was $5.39 a gallon
Wow.
for regular, and that was one of the cheaper places around town.
Yeah.
I wonder if salt batteries will be good. We have more salt in America than I think just about any place else does, and you can get it out of the ocean.
What are you talking about?
Molten salt batteries instead of lithium?
I've never heard of it.
Oh, yeah. It's a pretty long-term energy storage solution.
Really?
Molten salt.
All right.
Rechargeable molten salt
Tell
battery
Elon.
freezes energy. Exactly. Because I
Or
feel like
have to
America has a lot of salts. Like we've got a lot of salt mines and stuff.
Look, I believe in 0-point energy, and it drives
Hey,
me
if someone can
nuts
work it out.
that like Elon Musk isn't putting billions of dollars into research for that instead of this stupid battery fiasco that's headed our way.
Drive an electric car, which, you have a 4-hour drive, but the car only goes an hour and a half. So you have to charge it. The happiest moment for somebody in an electric car is the first 10 minutes. In other words, you get it charged, and now for 10 minutes. The unhappiest part is the next hour because you're petrified that you're not going to be finding another charger. People, I'm saying I'm not knocking electric cars, they're fine. They're fine. But if people want to buy a gasoline car or a hybrid, hybrids are pretty good actually, but they should be allowed to buy. They don't want to do any of this. So right now, California's in a big brownout because their grid is a disaster. The grid all over the country is sort of a disaster, but the grid in California. And yet they want to have in a very short period of time, millions and millions of cars going off that grid essentially. It doesn't work.
So
By the way, for anybody who was wondering, the Hurricane Hillary was just very, very wet here in San Diego. Anyways, I know it was like really windy out in the Imperial Valley. I've got family out there, but they were posting some videos. It was crazy windy out there, but there wasn't even barely any wind here. It was
Just rained a lot?
It just rained for like 36, 48 hours straight.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
A lot flooding.
Not where I'm in a hilly area.
Right.
So
Ah.
no. Usually it
all the
floods down like in Mission Valley, down in the valley, where the San Diego River is, because it's just we don't have good drainage here.
Did it knock over your lawn furniture?
No, it didn't even. Dude, I put cardboard over my windows in case, because we have a whole bunch of crap outside that could have flown into the window if there was really 60-hour mile an hour winds. But it was nothing, like no wind.
It just made it nice and dark because you had the cardboard over the windows.
Yeah.
Plug your car into a grid that's
You
failing.
should be able to buy an electric car. Electric cars could be fun if you drive short distances and you want to have, whatever, and you have plug-ins every.
Like your golf cart.
They could be fine. But you got to have gasoline
Or
cars.
Hot
You gotta
Wheels.
have everything. Let people buy everything. Now there's the new thing is your heating systems in the house. They don't want you to have a modern day heating system. They want you to use a heating system that will cost you at least $10,000 to buy and won't work very well. None of the stuff works as well. One of the things I did with EPA is you have states, many states, most of the states have so much water, it comes out of heaven, right? The water pours down and you have it. It's there. It's got to go wherever it goes, into the oceans, whatever.
Yep.
It's not like a big problem. Now, in some states, they have a problem. You have some desert areas and all, and for that, it's okay. But they have sinks.
That was actually something that drives me nuts every stinking time it rains because we're constantly in a drought in Southern California, but they do nothing to collect rainwater here.
Is that illegal?
Nothing. Because, not even, well, I don't think it is anymore, but it used to be illegal to collect rainwater off of your own roof,
Wow.
to water your plants and stuff.
Wow.
But they do nothing to collect the rain. Trillions of gallons
Yeah.
of
You don't have
water.
reservoir? What?
Every time it rains, just runs right into the ocean.
It's foolish.
Here through San Diego River, LA River, all the rivers just fill up and the water just dumps out. It's like, can't you divert that to some place where you can store it or find some way to,
Right.
There's enough rainwater in these counties to fill every freaking aquifer. Dude, build more aquifer.
Yeah.
Right?
It's, your job to take care of the people of California, right?
Exactly. Instead, we get all of our water pumped down here from Colorado. And it's like, what? Why? How
Where no water comes out. You turn it on, no water comes out. No water comes out of the shower. No water is allowed to go into the washing machine for your dishes or for your clothing or what. And I avoided all of that.
Wait, they have sinks where no water comes
Sure,
out?
you have restrictors. When I say no water, very little water. You want to wash your hands, right?
Yeah.
And you've seen this, and you turn on the sink and it's very little. Or you want to wash your beautiful hair, right? And you're standing under a shower. Then the suds never go. If the water comes out very slowly. I'm sure you've seen this. It usually takes place in new hotels and new homes.
Yeah, you take a drill and take the
They have
limiter out.
well,
Yeah.
you can, but now they make it so you can't do that so easily. They have a restrictor. It's called a restrictor, and it restricts the water from coming out. So I ended all of that, and you have to see these. They let the water come out. You know what people do? They wash their hands 5 times longer, or in the washing machine, they'll press for their, let's say, the dishwasher. They'll press it. Then they'll press it about 7 or 8 times.
Yeah.
They'll end up using more water, and it still won't be very good. I met with the head of Whirlpool. They were practically going out of business during my administration, and they said to me from Ohio, incredible, great state, I love Ohio, that they were really doing badly because people were dumping washing machines all over, mostly from South Korea, but also from China. And he was explaining it's just a terrible situation. I said, let me ask you, how's the quality? He says, we're better, but they are good enough quality. But, of course he's going to say that, but, they are better.
To take a slight break from Trump here, Rhaegar says Vivek won the debate, but a bunch of high-profile conservative commentators on Twitter are hating on him. Strange. Well, it's nice to know that somebody watched the Republican debate tonight, Rhaegar.
I watched it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I like it.
It was a mess.
Was there a clear winner?
Yeah, Trump. just by not being there. And
Good.
it was like it was. I mean, Vivek was probably the most compelling person on stage.
Oh, Vivek's great.
It was like a giant food fight. You know, Chris Christie got booed half the time. Mike Pence got booed the other half the time, and everyone else was just like yelling and talking over each other. And the moderator is trying to rein them in, just failing. So
I'm gonna watch that later.
I want to watch the boo. I watched the highlighted boo scenes. You know.
Huh?
Just put them on
His-
Well, you know, were you listening earlier when we were doing the comps? So Fox News, the
Oh, yeah.
terrestrial cable got 24 million views or something like this. This Trump Twitter, Tucker on Twitter thing. When we started, it was at over 89 million views.
Oh man.
Said 90 now.
I think they won.
Yeah. Gosh.
So,
Forget
but
about
they don't allow us. They're dumping these machines. They're cutting us in half. They're killing us. And on top of it, the government won't let us use water in our machines. I mean, he shows me like a quarter of a bottle of water. That's supposed to be washing clothing. And I freed it all up, and I put tariffs on these countries that were selling and the machines coming into the country. And that company went from all the washing machine companies, they make washing machines, they make dryers, they make all of the different machines that do this kind of work, including dishwashers. And they went from a disaster area to being just thriving.
But can I ask
They
why-
love me in that part of Ohio.
Well, I bet they do, but why should EPA, no one at EPA was elected by anybody,
Yeah.
why do they have the power to decide how much water your washing machine uses? Shouldn't Congress in a democracy get to vote on that?
Yeah, you could say that. They do things that are not very.
So how do you, that's my question, how do you, if you get elected again, go back to Washington, how do you keep the agencies under control? How do you keep FBI and CIA specifically under control?
The way you do it,
Dismantle
like
them.
I fired Comey, that was a big deal. You know, a lot of people said, and I fired him very early. Somebody said, "Oh, I wish you would have fired him."
There you go, Anthony.
There's a real question about firing him. Anyway, you understand, because you know when they have a 10-year term, there is a question. I fired Comey. That was a great thing. If I didn't fire Comey, maybe I wouldn't.
No questions, dude. Trump gets back into office. He's got to be completely ruthless. He doesn't ever have to run for president again. He can do whatever he wants, and he can do the right thing and not have to worry about what are they going to do, impeach him again?
That's stuck. There's nothing left to throw at him.
Wouldn't be talking to you, or I'd be talking to you about real estate or something else other than politics, right? That was a coup, in my opinion. That was a very sick deal. That was the insurance policy. You remember the insurance policy? Oh, she's going to win, darling. She's going to win. But just in case she doesn't, we have an insurance policy. An insurance policy was what they were doing. And we caught them with that. That was a very important tweet or whatever it was, text. It was a big deal. That was a big deal. The insurance policy. She's going to win 100 million to 1. That's not good odds. At least they gave me one, right? 100 million to 1.
Oh, gosh, that was the best night of my life.
Yeah.
A night Hillary's people were in abject horror and tears, sobbing on the floor of the New York Convention Center where they hold Comic-Con. Oh, my Schadenfreude doth runneth over. And then watching the Cenk Uygur video of
Where
like
he's melting down.
just melting down overnight.
And dude, this is what you don't see. I saw this video. They showed a video of Hillary and Bill and the daughter. They all got wind. They got word that she won. She won. That's what they got word of at night. And they showed her behind closed doors, and he's jumping up and down, and she's jumping up and down. They're all hugging each other, like cheering, because they believe they just got word they won. And then right after that, all of a sudden they go, Trump won. And all of a sudden she never came out. And I heard that someone said behind the scenes that she was so ticked that she like punched I forget which guy she punched, Podesta or whatever, her like guys, her manager,
Punched
campaign
Chelsea?
manager, or threw something at him. And then she was like drunk or something. But I seen him jumping up and down like a little schoolgirl, like, you know, like a little sickly skeletal looking Bill Clinton jumping up and down, and they're all like grabbing hands. Like And now then that video never surfaced again. Saw it once and it was gone.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Andrew Hayes, no, the convention center did not smell like pee and poo this year. I didn't know
They ripped the carpet out.
Yeah, but I think they did that last year too.
Well, yeah, because after they let all those homeless people stay in there.
Right.
Ugh.
Yeah, so there's no more carpet in the convention center.
Oh gosh.
Concrete.
Because the problem's the carpet.
It's
Oh my gosh, carpeting that place probably cost several $1 million.
Yeah, they're like, oh, no more
I
carpet.
mean, it's
And
a
I'm like,
quarter-mile long.
yeah.
Yeah.
One. But just in case she doesn't win, we have an insurance policy. And everybody said, that's strange. That's strange. But we caught all of that because I fired Comey. Because when I fired Comey, it was like throwing a rock into a hornet's nest, into a nest of bees, and the place went crazy.
So when you were president, are you confident that you knew everything, say, CIA was doing around the
No,
world?
I'm not. I'm not. It's a very interesting group of people. I had very good relationships, I thought, but I was a little surprised when I got out that things go on. Look, it's.
What were you surprised by?
I was surprised. I think it's some of the people. I was surprised that there was. I had a group of people. Look, we killed many using the CIA. I have to say this. Very bad actors. We were very good at it. You look at Soleimani, you look at al-Baghdadi, bigger than Osama bin Laden. I mean, Osama bin Laden, but al-Baghdadi did ISIS, and he was rebuilding ISIS very strongly.
And that was the CIA that did that.
That was really us that did that.
Yeah.
That was really us that did that.
What happened?
I wonder what Trump thinks about 9/11.
I wonder, what would he say?
After discovering all of this deep state stuff, that the CIA killed the Kennedys, that the CIA is a really bad actor in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I just wonder what he actually thinks. Well, he wouldn't say, because he won't say what happened to Epstein, but
yeah,
I don't know why you wouldn't say, because here's the thing. People are gonna hate you, don't give a care. Well, you could say water's wet and they'd be like, he's a liar, he's crazy. I mean, it doesn't matter what you say, so I'd go full tilt, man, and be like, here's the gasoline tank and here's the match. Let's have fun.
yeah, I think once he gets elected, it'd be great if he just FOIA'd everything from the CIA and just spilled it all out on the table. This is why I'm dismantling the CIA. They did 9/11. They did Pearl Harbor. They did. It's like,
that would be impeachment.
They faked the moon landing. They
faked the moon landing.
Like every conspiracy theory, he's just like shows all this
Lizard people.
The CIA was behind it all. They are run by lizard people.
There you
They
go.
created Hillary Clinton in a test tube.
Confirmed.
And Soleimani was
lizard people
us
in a
that did
test
that, not so much CIA. But we did some very good work with the CIA. What I started, when I looked at the 51 intelligence agents,
the Area 51 intelligence agents?
saying that was the laptop from hell was Russia disinformation. When I took a look at that, I said, that's a horrible thing. They knew it wasn't. They knew it was not.
There's your list right there. All of those people get freaking. I mean, honestly, that's treason. That's treason. Line those guys up.
And by the way, you're talking about cheating on the election. McLaughlin and Fabrizio, great pollsters, they said a thing like that plus other things meant anywhere from 10 to 17% of the vote would change.
Whatever happened to Mike Pence? You've always been nice to Pence. I've never heard you criticize
lizard person.
Pence. You've defended him in public
Lizard people.
many, many times. He's out there attacking you. What is that?
So Mike wants to run for president. You got to understand, in my opinion, Mike Pence had the absolute right to send the votes back to the legislatures. the Democrats and everybody said, you don't have the right. In other words, what I said, is he a human conveyor belt? I mean, if he finds fraud in Pennsylvania, in Georgia, in any of these states, Arizona, he has to send them to Mitch McConnell, right?
Yeah, there was freaking no reason for
Mm-hmm.
him to force that through on January 6th.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it was fine. You can extend these things. Remember what happened with the hanging chads?
Mhm.
That went on for months.
Yeah.
It's fine, and it ended up in the Supreme Court. But so what? If it ended up in the Supreme Court, it ended up in the Supreme Court. But Mike Pence had that duty to say there's freaking obvious shenanigans here, and if he didn't see them when he looked at the evidence, then he's either blind or he's a freaking lizard person. It's terrible.
That's so good.
Right, Nolan?
Absolutely.
That's right, sir. Well,
the hanging chads didn't go on for months. How long did the hanging chads go on for? I remember them going on until
December.
Through the winter.
Yeah, it was into December.
Yeah.
if he finds fraud, he has to. Yes, sir. I said, so he's a conveyor belt. Boom, put him in. I said, I don't agree with that. And we had some lawyers, not all, we had some lawyers that said, no, you do have the right to send them back to the legislatures to be rechecked. Because if you looked at what went on in Wisconsin.
Okay. Just a point of fact here. If you've got lawyers disagreeing on this stuff, that's what courts are for.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's true.
So if you've got lawyers saying this is what has to happen, and lawyers saying that can't happen, you push it through, and if someone challenges it, they challenge it legally.
Right,
They
in a
don't
court
just
of law.
take one side and throw the election, an obviously fraudulent election.
Who, by the way, now agree with me. Wisconsin has been virtually, other than the fact they're not allowed to do anything statutorily, but Wisconsin has been, I mean, what they found is incredible. I mean, we won Wisconsin, but Mike Pence had the right, in my opinion, to send them back.
Do you ever talk to him now?
No, I haven't spoken to him in a long time. I was very disappointed in him. I didn't want to do what Thomas Jefferson did. Thomas Jefferson, it was Georgia. And it was, hear ye, hear ye, the great state of Georgia is not capable or allowed to tabulate their votes. And Thomas Jefferson, who was the vice president, said, is Georgia sure that they cannot tabulate their votes? Georgia is sure. He didn't send them back and have them redo it. He said, we will keep the votes of the great state of Georgia for Thomas Jefferson and his president. I didn't ask him for that. Could have done that too, but I didn't. I thought that would be turmoil. I asked him to send him back to his legislature.
Engrossed he is.
To the legislatures, you know, in Wisconsin, let's say.
But why didn't he? I mean, you'd worked together for 4 years. You're the president. He's VP. You say you're aligned
He's
on
a
everything.
freaking
I think he got very
lizard
bad advice. I really do. Now, let me tell you what happened. I sat there with a few people. I think his lawyer was in the room too. His lawyer was very much against it. There were other lawyers that felt you could do it. It was one of those things that I think you could have done it. I think you can always do something if you see fraud or if you see problems. But it's very interesting. So after the election was over, the rhinos got together with the Democrats and they redid the election, so you couldn't do it anymore. So then I called the people. I said, so in other words, you're saying I was right. You could do it. Yes, you could do it. In other words, they took the Voting Act and they redid it so the vice president no longer has the power to do what I said he could do. So when that happened, I said, wow. And you know, you'd look some of these Democrats in the eye and they say, he has absolutely no right to do it. And immediately after the election, they met rhinos, could name them all, and Democrats, and they approved legislation that takes away the right of the vice president to do it. So I said, so you're saying I was right. The vice president did have the right to do it, and they said, yes, he did.
So if you're saying they stole it from you last time, why wouldn't they do the same this time?
Oh, well, they'll try. They're going to try. And not only me.
1,000%.
Look, DeSantis is out. I think he's gone. So he was at a level. People have figured him out. He's gone. But if somebody else got in, other than me, they'll go at him just as viciously as they did me. These people are sick. They will go after them. And a lot of people say they won't be able to hold up. I do get credit for holding up quite well, I must tell you. I think that's...
How do you do that? How do you get indicted, every week and stay cheerful?
I think Rhaegar says he's right, Trump support about to go way up even more after tomorrow. Yeah, I think so. But I think Vivek could stand up to it because he stood up to the pressure when Black Lives Matter and all these people were trying to pressure him to have his company wave the black flag, however you want to say it. And he's like, no, I've got principles.
There you go.
And so I think Vivek, out of everybody on the stage, Vivek would be, I think he could take the slings and arrows. I think he'll be president one day.
Yeah.
Could be.
Seems to be the best we've got so far.
I think it's a lot easier because I'm so high in the polls, because it means the people get it. The people see it's a fraud. The people see it, like this horrible district attorney from just a little while ago, from essentially Atlanta. It's Fulton County. She said, basically, I don't have any right to...
Sorry, I got to pause. Gino says, I think Vivek is going for VP, honestly. I don't think he is.
I think he is.
Really don't think he is. I think he's a billionaire CEO. He's very much in the mold of Trump. And do you think Trump would ever go for VP?
I don't think Vivek is like Trump in that way. I mean, Trump is, what is he, 78 years old?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he spent his whole life being in charge. Vivek's 38, 37. I think at that age, being vice president would be such a feather in his cap. I don't think he would mind. With him,
I don't think he would turn it down.
Right,
but I
yeah.
don't think he's going for it. I
Well,
think he's going for president. But
I think he
I don't
knows
think
that he
would turn down.
won't be the nominee for the Republican.
I think it's good. I think
Go
it's
ahead.
good to. Oh,
I'm sorry. Go.
I was just saying, I think it's good that there's somebody there, because I'm sure people are kind of upset now, and they're like, well, what happens if these Democrats actually get away with it and manage to, and it won't happen, but it must be good for him to know, look, if it does happen, he would be there as a good candidate and he could take up the fight too.
Right.
But I think he would be a really cool vice president. I trust him more than anyone else for the job.
I also trust the CIA to assassinate him before they kill Trump.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because he's not as high profile.
Before Trump.
Because he's not as high profile. And if they
I
see
don't think
him
they
as a
care
threat.
about that anymore, though.
I mean,
Like,
dude, they killed Robert Kennedy Jr. when he was just running for president.
Yeah, but like I said, I think Trump, they don't give a care. I think they would do it right in broad daylight, and they were like, no one would care because they're so brainwashed. People would be like, I didn't see anything. That was computers, AI. You know what I mean? It's like think about it. You got right now. You have literal rappers and stuff rapping about the devil and shit, and people still think that it's all a conspiracy theory that Satan worshiping and all that when they happen in the open doing it. It's crazy.
Who's Newland? You say CIA, I think Newland and her husband's family were doing it?
What?
Is that who's Newland?
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Who challenge an election. Well, what about Stacey Abrams? What about Hillary Clinton? What about all of these Democrats that are still challenging my election? The same people that are saying he's challenging an election challenged my election. And they did it with
Victoria
slates.
Nuland.
They did it with all sorts of things. They were very bad about it. But basically, they're suing me and they're saying you don't have any right to challenge it. If you challenge an election, we're going to indict you and put you in jail. So what they're doing is they've weaponized, and don't kid yourself, the DOJ and Biden and the whole group, they're watching all of this stuff. They love the local stuff. You know, the DA in Manhattan, Not only that, they put one of the DOJ top people into the Manhattan DA's office to run things. They don't even have a case against me. It's not even a case. Everyone says, even the Democrats say, you can't bring these cases. You have no case. The Attorney General or the District Attorney, Fannie Willis, in Atlanta, she's getting killed. Basically, she's saying Trump doesn't have the right to criticize an election. But you've been around long enough now. You've seen many elections criticized. I mean, Hillary Clinton goes crazy. Every time she talks, she says, he's not the president. Jimmy Carter said, he's not the president. Well, I am the president. Hillary Clinton called me, by the way, at 3:02 in the morning to congratulate me the night of the election.
Did her voice crack?
Well, her voice was very different, I will say. I won't get into that.
What do you mean?
Her voice was very different. Don't forget, they were all celebrating at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And I came home and I said, I think we won. I felt we won because the rallies are so big. We'd go to Wisconsin and we'd go to Georgia. We'd go to different states. In Michigan, we'd have rallies. In Pennsylvania, we had 58,000 people in Butler. And I said, how are we losing this? How do you have a rally where you have from 50 to 100,000 people, many of them? I did 7 a day for a couple of days. That's a lot. These are big rallies too. And I didn't hold back. I didn't say, let's make them let's do abbreviations, right?
You got to think about it. Even with all the cheating, changing votes, because that's what happened in some of those, machines, right? It wasn't just adding votes. It was changing votes. Even with that, Trump got more votes than anyone else in history.
Yep.
So imagine what the real tally was.
Yeah.
But they challenged this stuff. Yeah. Hillary called me up and conceded. Now the word is that Obama said you have to do that. But she called up and totally conceded. But now, every time you see her on television, she's saying she's challenging the election.
Do you think
so? That would mean that she should be indicted, but that would mean also that Stacey Abrams in Georgia should be indicted because she still thinks she won the election for governor. She still thinks that. She's never recanted. And
do you think Stacey Abrams will be indicted for that?
Of course not. She won't be. The Democrats don't get indicted for things like that. They don't get impeached. No, it's a different thing. With that being said,
yes,
I had great support when they did impeachment hoax #1 and impeachment hoax #2. Jim Jordan, the House was fantastic. And actually the Senate was very good for me. Other than, Mitch McConnell, I think it's too bad I endorsed him. He was begging, he was going to lose that race and I endorsed him and he ended up winning the race because of my endorsement. He was down, he was going to lose to Amy McGrath, who had $90 million in cash, all set to go. She was leading by 3, he was going down. I did him a favor and then 3-4 months later, he really wanted to impeach me. He's a bad guy. But if you look at what's going on politically, so interesting. The level of loyalty is different in politics than it is in normal life, I will say. With that being said, I've had great loyalty also. But the House was fantastic. The Senate was very good. They overrode Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell, in my opinion, was trying to get senators to impeach me, especially for the second one. And on the first one, he acted very, very slow. He should have gone much faster. But Mitch McConnell wanted to, and the senators went up to him, guys that are subservient to him because he gives money. He gives them money. He gives them a lot of money. He raises some money and he gives it to them, and therefore they do what he said. That's the only form of leadership he's got.
So last question. If you're elected president again, what's your number one priority? When you ran last time, you said, I will build a wall. This time, your bottom line top promise to the country.
So you can do numerous things at the same time.
Of course.
But let's say number one is border. And
destroy my enemies.
Taking hundreds of thousands of criminals that have been allowed into our country.
The lamentation of their
and getting them out and bringing them back to their country. Guatemala. By the way, not only the 4 countries that we think of as neighbors, all over the world. Last month, we had 149 countries represented. Think of it. We had 149 countries represented, Tucker, from places that many people never even heard of, coming into our country. And they're coming in from mental
always
institutions, and they're
both,
coming in
Gino.
from prisons. They're emptying out their prisons all over South America. They're emptying out their mental institutions. Terrorists are pouring into our country. We have no idea. I had the strongest border in the history of our country, and I built almost 500 miles of wall. You know, they like to say, oh, was it less? No, I built 500 miles. In fact, if you check with the authorities on the border, we built almost 500 miles of wall. And I had another 200 that I was going to build. You know, it's like water, it seeks. And we're going to build another 200. We built it. It was all set to go. All they had to do was install it. It would have taken 3 weeks. And that's when I found out. I said, I think these people actually want open borders. The first thing I would do would be I would seal up the border good and tight, except for people that want to come in legally.
Do you think we're moving towards civil war?
There's tremendous passion and there's tremendous love.
He's not going to answer that question.
Define civil war.
Because if he answers it in the affirmative, then he's encouraging it.
Yeah. You know, January 6th was a very interesting day because they don't report it properly. I believe it was the largest crowd I've ever spoken before. And you know some of the crowds I've spoken before. And like July 4th on the mall.
You know what the biggest, maybe not the biggest, but one of the biggest scams about January 6th reporting is they always refer to it as an armed insurrection.
Right. Yeah, it's nonsense.
Yeah, the FBI filed, I mean, it's online on like FBI.gov, whatever, what the weapons were that they brought. And it's pocket knives, screwdrivers,
shoelaces,
like freaking cans of hairspray. I don't know. It was like this list of just benign stuff that everybody like.
It was mostly geriatric people going in there too, you know.
Yeah.
Walking cane.
And they
Yes,
listed
just
all
you
this
wax
stuff
them.
weapons so that they could say that it was an armed insurrection.
Yeah.
You know, in a country where we have lots of guns and the freedom to bear them, if you were going to try and pull something like that, you think you'd, I don't know, maybe not go with walking canes with little tennis balls on the end of them and maybe bring
If
something
Trump
a little sharper.
wanted an armed insurrection to happen that day, he absolutely could have made it happen without any question whatsoever.
And he did.
All he had to do was ask. One tweet, you know, saying, make sure that you are, you know, bringing your First Amendment or your Second Amendment.
Bring your canes and
Bring your
pocket
Second
knives.
Amendment to the, you know,
pencil.
whatever.
Make sure you have 2 magazines.
Yeah.
One of them some kind of home improvement magazine. Those are
All he
pretty
had to
hefty.
do, all he had to do was say something about upholding their Second Amendment rights when they come to the Capitol, and they would have come. I mean, not everybody, but you know, enough of the really hardcore people would have brought their AK-47s, not their freaking whatever they have, AR-15s, whatever.
Literally just whatever they had in their pockets.
Right,
Pocket
pistols.
knife.
They all, I guarantee you, 90% of that crowd owns at least a pistol or a shotgun.
Sure.
99%.
Right?
Keep you safe. It's not always.
That is correct, Dennis. And then they're always saying that cops got killed. Oh, bull crap.
I know, they're
Four
lies.
citizens murdered by government. Civilians killed no one. Yep.
No, the one guy
I
had a
know.
heart attack, right? Later
the
that
next
day.
day.
Yeah, the
Oh,
next
Rhaegar.
day. Yeah, it wasn't even.
I was reporting on this. I was showing the videos of the cops waving people in. That's why
Yeah.
that's why they took down my YouTube channel.
Yeah. You have to wonder
I think
about
they had 1 million people there. But I think that the biggest crowd I've ever spoken before was on January 6th. And people that were in that crowd, a very, very small group of people. And we said patriotically and peacefully and patriotically, right? Nobody ever says that. Go peacefully and patriotically. But people that were in that crowd that day, very small group of people, went down there, and then there are a lot of scenarios that we can talk about. But people in that crowd said it was the most beautiful day they've ever experienced. There was love in that crowd. There was love and unity. I have never seen such spirit and such passion and such love. And I've also never seen simultaneously and from the same people such hatred of what they've done to our country.
So do you think it's possible that there's open conflict? We seem to be moving towards something.
I don't know, because I don't know what it, I can say this. There's a level of passion that I've never seen. There's a level of hatred that I've never seen, and that's probably a bad combination.
Donald Trump, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very much.
Thank you.
That is a bad combination. By the
Bad
way.
combination. Thank you.
If I were Trump, I would have said, I hope.
Yeah.
But, realistically, what if that is the only thing that could save this nation?
Yeah. And I mean, it's a different kind of battle, I suppose, too. If it's like, if you're out there like battling with ideas and trying to get people turned around, it's still a kind of conflict. Interesting times.
Ooh, it is now over 102 million views.
Okay.
That's 442,000 likes, 136,000 retweets. He's got more likes than wait, how many views did Fox News get? 24 million?
23 million, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's not bad.
Crazy.
Gee, and there's like 5 of us watching the one show, and then everybody in chat. So if each one of those 100 million views has like 1 to 5 people watching it, that's a lot of people. That's basically the entire country.
Well, I think there's people around the world watching, so.
Oh, okay. That's basically the entire world. Well,
Yeah, but
we'd
really,
have to-
100 million views? That's 100 million people wanting to see. If that's 100 million votes, then. Can you imagine if they tried to overcome 100 million votes?
Good luck with that, right?
How long was the debate? I don't know. I didn't watch it. I'll probably watch it tonight.
Maybe the highlight reels.
Later. Yeah. Crazy, crazy days. All right. Well, it's past 10 o'clock here, so I am gonna call it a night. How's anybody got any last thoughts about Trump versus Tucker?
Was it a versus? I feel like they got along pretty well.
As a panda from China, I feel that I may not have an appropriate opinion on the matter.
You mean you're not a human? You're a panda?
I mean, I am a human. I mean, yes, I am a human. Never forget what I just said.
Hey, Nolan, what's black, white, and red all over?
Other than me, what?
Suicidal panda.
Oh,
boy.
hey. Oh, that will get your channel demonetized.
Yeah, kill yourself.
Panda with boxing gloves.
Yeah, I got kicked from for 24 hours from Twitter for putting KYS, and I didn't even know what it stood for. Like somebody had said it, and then I was like, "Oh, KYS, I get it." And the bot tagged me,
Check that. But
kicked me
not the
right
other
as soon as I
person?
posted it. Like the second after I posted it, it went, "You're gone." I'm like, "Whoa, what?"
I got
I got that mixed up with KYC.
So what happened?
Kill your panda.
No, like
I was-
KYC. Is that what they say in crypto? They say KYC.
Yeah, know your customer.
Yeah.
No, you're
I was like,
What's
you
it
got kicked for
mean?
that?
Well, one word is kill,
Kick your sister.
and then it's about suicidal tendencies. It's kill yourself. I can say that on YouTube, right? They don't kick you off of YouTube for saying it. I'm not telling anybody to kill yourself. I'm just saying what KYS stands for. Isaac knew what it stood for.
Yeah, I say it all the time.
He says it all the time. Kids today.
Yeah,
You mean Epstein Panda? Yeah. Panda
I'm
Epstein.
gonna lock my door tonight.
All right.
Get rid of my underwear.
So, Jiminy, any last thoughts?
No, just that the Tucker interview was much more entertaining than the Republican debate. So, but check out the Republican debate if you like food fights, if you like watching grown men make fools of themselves, and check
Oh
it
yeah,
out.
I'm totally gonna watch it with my wife.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't stomach watching any or hearing any of those people, man. I'm done with that. No, it's funny is I didn't like Tucker Carlson either. Like I wasn't a fan of him. But I kind of become more. I actually like watching him more now that they kicked off Fox. I think. But I remember he wasn't a Trump fan either. Tucker Carlson.
Right.
But yeah, he didn't really like Trump. He'd always mock him or ridicule him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he kind of saw what was going on, and the similar things started happening to him, and he's like, "Wait a second." You know?
Yep.
Wait a minute, it's true. Yeah, it kind of seems that way. I guess my thoughts
Girl?
would be keep him lifted up in prayers in our whole country. God's certainly going to turn this all around and bring good out of it. So just keep everybody in our prayers, and you'll be in our prayers too. We'll get through this. Just keep the faith and try and be encouraged. I know we're going into a better world. So don't lose sight of your own future too, and the kind of chaos and confusion and sadness that we're in right now. It'll definitely get better.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world or anything.
Right. And even if it were, I can turn around.
Yeah.
Maybe. Matt, any last thoughts?
Yeah. I'm just going to not watch politics, but I'm going to definitely. I already know what I'm going to vote for already. So I'm just going to do a lot of praying too. I think that's what Christians need to do too. Is they need to pray, because I don't know. I feel like I was the only one guy praying the last time, and I'm like, so it's like I think maybe hopefully that was a wake up call for a lot of people to realize, because I think a lot of times they praise too much. They praise Trump where they thought he's the one doing all this stuff, and I'm like, dude, he's good, but he's not that good. He's overcoming all of these attacks, and just it's not him alone doing it, you know. So can't lose sight of divine intervention on our behalf.
Absolutely.
We need it. That's definitely, man. 'Cause I just gave up voting after that last election.
Who is that? Kazar?
Anthony says, pray to Archangel Michael to protect us against evil. Now, there's one mediator between God and man, the man Christ Jesus. Pray to Jesus to send Michael to protect us.
Yeah, Michael will definitely go.
Who's
All right. I have no further thoughts. I think I said most of them as the show was going along. So thanks everybody for being here. Oh, Gina wants to know, when do we get the upbeat channel from Amy to brighten everyone's day?
Well, I'm here. Thanks for having me here. It's nice, and I love getting to see you all. And hang in there, guys. We're gonna be okay.
We're gonna be okay. Yes, of course. All right. All right. Thanks everybody for being here. God bless, and Deus Volt.
Good night, everyone.
Bye. Good night.
God
Good
bless.
night.
Bye, everybody.
Hey, Becky.